So take me back in time to another world where you can be mine. We don't have to worry when you're by my side. There's nothing I don't know, there's nothing to decide apart from where we want to go. Good numbing. Hello chat room, hello YouTube. I hope you're all doing well and you've had a fantastic weekend. We're back. It's been a while since we've last touched Ryza 3, but we're back with Atelier Ryza 3 to cover the DLC that dropped last week, a bit unannounced and unceremoniously. It just dropped the butter, so I was like, okay, I need to figure out how to fit that in the schedule. Well, here we are. I haven't really played this game that much since we wrapped up, just because I've been kind of busy, so I haven't actually got close to platinuming it, so there's a chance that some of the DLC might school us, because the DLCs for Atelier games tend to be pretty tough all in all. But we could have some fun nonetheless. The reason why I'm on the title screen and not in the map screen is because the moment the DLC is installed, it triggers a cutscene upon loading your save. So I couldn't do it, because I want to show that cutscene, you know? But as soon as we actually fire up, the first thing I'll do after the cutscene is go to the BGMs and mix it up a little. Now we're in, like, you know, the post-game, we're all done with it. Let's have some fun with the music, you know? But I digress. Let us load. 11th of May. Oh, it hasn't been as long as I thought it had been. The additional area, Roska Island, has been unlocked. You must clear the game at least once in order to unlock it. Advanced skills are now available, and they can be learned from the skill tree in the main menu. Oh yeah, we've got new things in the skill tree. The following recipes are now available: the antique style, the hunter's wear, the luminous gold armor, the immortal gloves, the fleur corsage, the lamp of force, the aurora jewel, the gluck potion, the torch of the ages, and the royal spun thread. And also we've got the extra BGM pack, so we are going to be messing around with that. Oh my goodness, it's an Atelier game at 60 FPS, oh god, it's been so long. I've also got to remember what voice I gave everyone. What's up, guys? We were just sorting through all the information Mr. Empel had deciphered for us. Some of my voices might be inconsistent. We've played other Atelier games since this. The book is full of mysteries. Looks like he was trying to work... Oh, that's boss. That book is full of mysteries. It looks like he's trying to work through them all. He was just muttering something about a breakthrough, too. What have you discovered, Empel? And just like any DLC in Atelier, it's not voiced. It's just text. It sounds like Emil used some sort of teleportation technology to jump from location to location as he did his research, and one of the records caught my attention. I have to translate here. Read this. The dragon vein is weak, the origin, teleportation, and the beginning of everything. There's a place called Roska Island. Not a whole lot of information to go on here. But it all stinks. From the sound of it, it's probably a Code of the Universe research site. Looking into it now, I'll let you know if I find anything else. Do you think it's possible to actually go to this place? Are you serious? We're sure it's got something to do with the Code of the Universe, right? Then I think it's worth the trip. Of course, we'll need to use the power of the gate to get there. Surely, with the information in this book, the tablets, and what we've learned so far. Origin in the beginning. I suppose I need to see what he means by all that. Let's run it by the group. Ryza, will you get a bunch of powerful pristine keys ready? The part saying the dragon vein is weak. I have a feeling we'll need a lot of power to connect the gates. I see. Leave it to me. Miss Ryza really knows how to take charge of a situation, doesn't she? It's not like it's the first time she's done it. Oh, there's an advance. Oh, God. Oh, it's been so long. Oh, God, I got to, like, fill this back out again. It's been a while. I genuinely haven't played this game in a bit. This is why I was like, I just kind of have to fill it back out again. Yeah, you can tell, like, I still got everything I said since I last wrapped up, really. I haven't really done much. Ooh. Oh my god. When synthesizing, quantity is increased by 30 with each unused additional ingredient slot. Amount of gems consumed when duplicating rebuilding items is reduced by 10%. When using a secret key in a recipe, the number of additional ingredient slots is forcibly increased. Core shards can be obtained when gathering. A rare chance to greatly increasing the rewards received when opening a supply point. A rare chance to get materials with super traits from enemy rare drops. When swinging to start a battle, the battle starts at... What?! Oh my goodness. Can create keys even when the enemy's HP is at max, but with a lower success rate. While key mod effects are active, if you modify another key, your stats increase. Your stats increase. When a fated key runs out, your talent level is just given a free level. Wow, the advanced skills are kind of cracked. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Prepare a pristine key with a quality of 300 or higher. Gives me a second to kind of remind myself how this all works. Yeah, it's come back to me. We're good. it took me a second. I want some traits. Quality, yeah, that'll do it. That getting super traits from enemy drops, I'm absolutely going to go and do, because I haven't done the, like, I haven't done the get all super traits trophy. Or that's not really a trophy, more the, getting all super traits stuff to help get the other stuff, basically. That's something else I can really get. I'll just add that, screw it. Interesting key on Emel's tablet. Before we do that, though, change BGMs. The Ateliers I don't mind, the islands I don't mind. It's more the battle themes I want to mess with a little bit. I've already messed with it a little. I know what tracks I want to go to. We're going to have a lot here, just as a heads up. So brace yourself. Oh, my favourite track from Sophie 1. I might have to see if I can squeeze this in somewhere. Sorry. Oh, I need... That's just gonna make me miss Sophie 2 more. Oh, you can only have so many. Okay. I'm gonna take a couple Iris tracks off then. And I'm gonna take this one off. So I want to have more room for others. Because I want to have... There's no way we're not having... Oh, I've got to try and find it. Balmy Summer Breeze. It's the best fucking battle theme in the franchise, in my opinion. There's no way we're not having that. Actually, you know what I think I'll do? These are all like the spin-offs that are like on like Game Boy, most of them. Oh, no. No. Yep. There's our normal battle themes done. As for alternate battle themes, we're going to mess with this for a minute, so be ready. No, I haven't heard Maruru's music, so I don't want to yet. And I'll let this one have the Knights of Azure tracks in it. We're going to be at this for a minute, not just going through them all, because I just want to kind of mix it up. I was going to do it off screen, but, you know. If I motorbike the pass. I have heard this, though, which is why I'm adding it on, because I have heard it before, and I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool, I'll keep it. No, I feel kind of bad having a fucking final boss theme hidden in there. That one I'll keep, though. Dun, dun, dun. Monster in the water. And where is Malicious Roses? There it is. Oh, I chucked all the final boss themes on this if I have to go back the Fight Code the Universe again. But on Story Boss, I will put like major boss themes here now, so like final boss themes I'll probably chuck on. So we might even get a couple repeats. Boom. Oh, no, that's a dungeon theme. I kind of feel bad putting that on. Intense home cooking. Oh god, that's a perfect theme for that fucking stupid boss from the review. Genesis is the actual final boss theme. Yeah, I'll keep that. We need to do another Blue Reflection Second Light run. I don't care. I don't care if I've gone through it 2 full playthroughs already. We need to do another playthrough. I refuse to hear any of it. We need to do another playthrough of that game at some point. I miss it. Alright, that's the thing. Oh, let's mix up costumes as well, actually, before I get too carried away. Yeah, let's rock that, actually. The samurai is always your go-to. Yeah, I'll let you have that. You look sick as fuck in that. Yep, you're good. You're good. Dandy style's going for you. That'll do. That'll do. Right, enough dawdling. Enough wasting time making sure we have our music in place and everything. Let's go do this. Let's have some fun. Oh, we have to make 3 of them. Okay, thanks, game. I have to make more then. Oh, right. So here's the deal. This is going to be a bit different than travelling from Claria to Namid. We shouldn't end up in the underworld, but we could still land somewhere full of monsters. Gotcha. So we have no idea where exactly we'll end up, huh? Sounds fun. How exciting! If anything tries to attack us, I'll drive them off. And the less we know, the more there is for us to discover. Get ready, everybody. So what are you going to do now, right? So I'm going to throw the book in. What? Okay, let's get started. Here we go. The fact that they try and gate it off by making you build like really high quality keys off the rip is slightly worrying, I won't lie. But hopefully we'll be able to survive. This will almost definitely be a one-off unless there's like loads of story content, but I don't think there'll be that much. It'll probably be more like the standard DLC nonsense. If we're lucky, there'll be more of a tease for the future here, because I am still convinced that there is a Secret Game 4 coming because of how this game ends. So this could easily, considering it's post-game, have some things that are teasing the future. Did it work? I don't know. It should lead us somewhere new. Guess we have to take a look for ourselves. Yeah, I'm going to make more keys before we get carried away. So I wasn't expecting it to burn immediately that on us, like, oh yeah, just use all of them. I was expecting us to be able to keep one with us. Oh, that wasn't even, I just misread that when I made it earlier. It's quantity, not quality. Whoops. But then how did we end up with 3 then? Hang on. What? Was it the key? I have no idea. I digress, we've made more keys. Gosh, there's so much. Yeah, oh god, there's so much I haven't got back down to. Oh, and here's all the DLC stuff. I'm not going to worry about that until we need to. Yeah, that's still just that. Alright, Rosker Island, let's go. I can already identify recipes. This place looks more like abandoned rather than an historical ruin site. Doesn't seem to be any danger for now. Who knows what's out there? Keep your eyes peeled. Exploration sandstorms. When exploring the desert, sandstorms may occur in certain areas. If you gather while inside a sandstorm, you'll find exclusive ingredients. During battles that occur inside sandstorms, your party will continuously be taking damage. Additionally, enemy levels are increased, making battles tougher than usual. But you are guaranteed to earn better exclusive materials by winning. Can we already see the map? Oh, interesting. You just get the landmark. Oh no, there's another one over there. And there's more here. Oh god, actually it's kind of big. Okay, it's a full zone. Got it. It's actually pretty big. So there's a lot of little quests to do. God, it feels so nice to move at this speed again. Oh my goodness, totally so slow. The quiet free branch. Oh god. There's new memoirs for the Rosca Island. Oh no. Scarlet Key, onslaught feminist quality. Oh, there's one of those sandstorms. Let's try fighting any of the local wildlife to see if we stand a chance. So just enjoying the music, let's go. The reason why I kind of picked all over the place is then it kind of surprises us what we get. Okay, these enemies are actually pretty dangerous. You have to be a bit careful. And is this the track actually I picked, or is this the theme of the area? I have to check afterwards. Because this sound, I don't recognize this from what we picked, so I'm gonna be blunt. This seems different. If that is the case and this is a DLC battle theme, then fuck, they picked it up. I mean, we're not quite level 99, but I feel like we're gonna fucking hit it during this stream. I want to check, actually. Firstly, 47 chests, oof. I want to check and go to music, and if it says, like, Roscoe Island DLC area, or if I did just somehow land on a track that really fitted. Oh no, that's Roscoe Island BGM, that's for when you're there. Sky in the sand clouds. Let me... And that's probably for, like, another part of it. Probably nighttime. So what did we get? I don't know, let's move on. We just happened to land on a track that was very fitting. Also, I can see that cauldron over there. We might not be building our own base. We might just have a cauldron space. Let's head over there though, and well, we'll follow this guy. Oh, what we got here? Only recently has the vast flow of energy throughout the world become known. It all started when environmental scientists began conducting research on monster activity levels. Try fruit. Oh, there is literally just a cauldron here. Interesting. As soon as we approach it, item placing container. By using an ancient cauldron, various effects can be achieved during synthesis. Each cauldron placed on the field has different effects. Each cauldron will use a certain number of times. Once it's reached, the cauldron's effect will no longer activate. The number of available uses recovers automatically over time. So this one allows to carry over exclusive super traits for yada yada yada. Okay. So is this them trying to bring back alternate cauldrons in their own way? Because if that's the case, that'd be neat. That's the thing we've got to be paying attention to. This is going to be like anything new in the DLC might be signs of what they want to make. For the next title. Can we break this open as is? Of course we can. Why did I think we wouldn't? We got so many keys. Oh, and this goes into like a little side secret path. Amatrite, okay. More unique. Monsters. I'll fight you in a second, monsters. I just want to feel the area out. And mortal anima, oh god. I was about to say where the treasure chest, we haven't found one. Oh, pretty good quality. Can we get up on the boat proper? No, that'd be too nice. Oh, there might be new things to dig out here though as well, so I should probably do that. Other than money we don't need. Man, imagine if there was a money ending in Ryza 3. It'd be possible for you to not get it, really, let's be honest. So that just wants us to head up. Is that literally a tumbleweed? Oh, I didn't even get it. I was gonna say, is that literally a tumbleweed we're about to get? And as per usual, we're going to be taking our sweet time exploring. There's a dead end as well. Okay, I don't mind doing it. There's another sandstorm over there. The music's very nice here anyway, so I don't mind just kind of grooving. Where's the spot? Okay, it's the usual fish. I was gonna say, is there any unique fish? Well, one of them's the equivalent of a lake master, so yeah, it's worth doing that a couple times. God, this needs to be like the default running speed for every Atelier game moving forward. Like, after playing, like, you know, Toturi, and we'll be going back to Toturi tomorrow, obviously, and Toturi's default running speed is so astronomically slow. No, has to be the norm. Every Gus character needs to run like this. Oh my goodness. It's a desert. Was that giant building over there? It's like a whole civilization. It's even bigger than the Pioneer Holy Tower. Or Piona. There doesn't seem to be anyone around. Is the island uninhabited? There's got to be something here. Are you getting a sweat on, Ryza? I think it's because we were just near the water, but still. Let's set up our base first. Once that's done, our research can begin. Okay, no, we're also going to set up our general Atelier. You know, we never do the research base. Let's go with this. No, we don't have that many ancient branches, so I'll do that. You know, we haven't seen this cutscene in forever. I'll let it play. We can have a little trip down nostalgia lane here. Everyone working together to build another base. Are we going to do this yet again when the Ryza 2 map gets added? Because that's the only thing left. Or is it just going to be like, hey, look, just camp up in the city? Because we should still have that place. I also wonder, like, it came across, like, with this free DLC that's, like, the other area, it came across more as just, like, a gathering spot map, that it's just you can go there and there's no real story. But I am curious, like, if there is, and if we do, like, what it ends up entailing. Because it'd be nice, considering, you know, Tao has to go back to the city to, like, finish his studies and whatnot, if we got a little, like, bits of closure here and there, when that does come out. Because I will probably, even though it'll probably be a shorter stream because there's not much story to it, I'll probably cover that as well when it's out. We got our base all set up now. The first thing we should focus on is that huge tower. It looks pretty important. I don't remember the voice I gave Carla at all. I really don't remember the voice I gave Carla at fucking all. Let's make all the extensions super quick. Just trying to finding random quests. Observation hut. Oh, they are basic ingots, I suppose. Honestly, is that really the best quality I have? But they are just basic ingots and nothing special. This is kind of a general thing for most of this week, to be fair, but because it's just the nature of how this week's going to be, as a heads up. I don't know how long this stream's going to be, so we're just going to kind of vibe and see how we go. If there genuinely is, like, loads of story content and we're nowhere near finished, then I will do more streams of it. It's just, I think it will probably be just a one and done, is what I feel. Or at least that's the impression I've been getting on the build-up. And especially compared to, you know, every other Atelier DLC, they tend to be kind of small extras. And not major events or focus points. Alright. I was gonna say, please tell me we can actually just hop in this, our little post. No warp here, though. I guess 'cause not really the priority. I haven't actually built like this specific kind of base, so it's actually kind of nice to see. But there's still a whole bunch of things I haven't even bothered looking at yet, let alone trying to make. What do we need for this? Oh, dread leather. Now let's stop messing around. Let's just go run out and go run around, go feel out the scenery. What do we actually need for some of the advanced skills? At least 5k. I'm just looking at this giant space and going, man, like, I wish, like, these kind of super open spaces were every zone, and not just kind of, like, the islands, like the Kark Isles kind of thing. I remember saying it during the playthrough, it's like, the only thing is that the open map kind of gets a little less open, and a little bit more kind of condensed into just go to set places, the further along it you go. And I'm hoping this is more like the islands, where it feels like you're just kind of running around aimlessly, but feeling out the world. Because we kind of didn't do that. You kind of do get, not railroaded, but kind of go on your paths a bit more on every other map that comes forward, it becoming more and more so each time. Hang on a sec, guys! What is it? We keep seeing those birds. How come they seem to always be leading us somewhere? Never really thought about it. Oh, there they go. I want to look into it. We can figure out how its behavioural patterns. Hey, if we see those birds again, let's follow them. I suppose it's nothing so relentless as the curiosity of a scholar. The Bird Watcher Tau. Claudia, Uni! What's the point of this one? This quick travel? You just can just swim across. I'll still activate it, but... It's just a straight line and water. I guess more so because it's close-ish to the base, it's just quicker travel. Putting so many tracks on it does make me curious what tracks will pop up when, where, and why. Oh, dun, 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 dun. What strength are these? 104. Okay, so they are a bit tougher than what we're used to. Got it. So we probably will be using an item to kind of make the difference almost every fight. The only thing that's a little annoying, and this applies to like most Atelier games that let you pick soundtracks from previous games, there's an infrequency of volume, so some of these tracks may be quieter, some of them may be louder. Hopefully it will be alright. This should kill? No, of course not. Right, yeah, they are, you know, over the level cap, so yeah, I don't know why I thought that would be fine. There we go. Oh my goodness. Yeah, we're gonna be hitting that level cap very fucking quick at this rate. It's nice to see level up animations again as well after Toturi. It's weird that, like, Rorona has level up animations and Toturi doesn't. Yeah, you know, it really... I imagine it's more to do with the fact that, you know, Rorona's Rorona Plus, and so it's like the later revisions, maybe they just added it, but it really stands out when we were going through Rorona games, that, like, or the Arlen games, sorry, that Rorona has, you know, victory animations and level up animations, and Toturi has victory animations but no level up animations. Oh, that's kind of just a break-off path as well. That's where we need to go, so we're not going to go there just yet. Let's explore up here then. The fact that I can just detour and be like, oh, let's go up here this way is nice. Sure, I'll fight these enemies because it's new, more difficult variations. What level are these guys? 104, okay. Oh, we've got a bit of Knights of Azure music in the background for this fight now. The Knights of Azure music is super quiet, I think. And I'll get the buffs on. So we just got to basically put the buffs on every fight. At least that's the kind of the impression I'm getting. Where's the other one? There you are. Oh, you're still at full health. Great. Pendulum. Of course there's more. Let's reapply the buffs just to make sure we're all good. I timed that miserably. I forgot which guard button was the guard button, if I'm being honest. That's why I had to kind of figure it out for a second. I finished my WWE 2K23 and ET Road playthrough. Hey, nice. Also, welcome, one man. There is something pretty fucking cool in this DLC that I want to highlight to you when after this fight, by the way, that this DLC's added. There's a couple things already that imply to me what they might want, that they might be trying to do for future Atelier games, but there's one thing in particular that stood out so far that I think is actually pretty damn cool. The thing that feels like they're trying to bring back an idea from the past, just whilst we're doing this, it's not the thing that I want to show you, is that you can find abandoned cauldrons around here, and each cauldron has different special effects when you use them. And different ways of handling it, and it feels like they're trying to bring back alternate cauldrons, so just doing it a different way. You know, like sort of like back in Sophie 1, where you had different cauldrons and sort of thing. And it just feels like they're like testing the waters for that. But the big thing that I really like is that they've, that I want to show you, is that they've made some alterations to the skill tree. They've expanded it in this DLC. They've got something called the advanced tree, and some of the shit in that advanced tree is actually pretty damn nice. and some of it gives me, like, ideas as to what they might be trying to do with some of the systems, or might want to try and do with the systems in the future. Because that's the thing with, like, this DLC coming out later on. Whatever the next Atelier game is absolutely in development, or, like, knee-deep in development now, right? Considering how quickly they turn around these games, tends to be, like, one almost every year. The next Atelier game's almost definitely knee-deep in development. So anything that pops up in this DLC might be carryovers and or experiments directly for the next game. And so anytime I notice something a bit different, I'm like, oh, I wonder. Also, these fights are probably going to take a bit longer because all the enemies on this DLC land are like above a level 100. And I haven't like really spent any time on this game like outside of streaming because I've just been busy. And we've got custom music on, so you're going to hear a bunch of different tracks from various things for normal battle themes and boss themes. Because we've already done the main game, and as we both know, the only major gripe I have with this game is I just don't think the soundtrack's that good. It's not that I think it's bad, I just don't think it's like memorable at all. Of course there's more enemies, fuck, I just wanted to do one quick quest. At least this thing's weak to magic. And need Leazea or Zamai themes. Zamai theme is in the normal battle theme. Leazea's in the boss themes. I think. I can't remember what I put them together. Because I wanted to make them at least somewhat accurate or somewhat fitting, you know. So I've got some Blue Reflection, I've got some Atelier tracks, I've got some Knights of Azure. Well, we're listening to a boss theme from Knights of Azure, even though it's super quiet. Because for some reason, some tracks are super quiet, some are loud. Oh, no, I need Ryza's items. Ryza's got the good shit. This bitch is still alive, come on. This should hopefully do it. Of course he didn't. Alright, don't do quest battles. Don't do quest battles over here, because they take way too fucking long. The normal battles are like a decent length. These are hella long. We're also absolutely going to hit the... Oh my god. Yep. So we're absolutely going to level up a whole bunch, yep. Anyway, what I was going to show you. In the skill tree, you got... Well, when you at any point you can press select and you can go to this. There's a new skill tree. In the new skill tree, when synthesizing, quality is increased by 30 with each unused ingredient slot. So if you have like 3 extra slots you can add and don't use them, that's 90 extra. Amount of gems consumed by duplicating rebuilding it is reduced by 10%. When using a secret key in a recipe, the number of additional ingredient slots is just increased. So you just get an extra slot if you're making a key. Core shards are obtained when gathering. A rare chance of greatly increasing the rewards received when opening a supply point. This is my one. This is the one I was like, ooh. A chance to get materials with super traits from enemy drops. Or enemy rare drops. You can just get super traits off enemies. Whoops, I didn't mean to press that again. That's like the one that was like, ooh. And when swinging it to start a fight, you can start at talent level 3 instead of 2. So that's just trying to speed shit up. Can create keys even when the enemy's HP is at max but with a lower success rate. While key modification effects are active, if you then go to make another key, you get a stat boost, and that stat boost increases. And then at the end, when you use a key, once it burns out, you get a free talent level. So it's all about... The reason why I find this exciting is because it's all about speeding shit up. That's the reason why it's designed. Like, all of it's about trying to make the combat even quicker. And you know me, the biggest thing I liked about Ryza 3 was how fucking quick the game is. So if they want to, if they're trying to make it all quicker, like, you know, get better traits and whatnot, get stat boosts using keys, get extra talent levels that start on a higher talent level, and if I haven't actually brought any of these yet, so it could expand further yet, but that to me is like, that's pretty fucking cool. I haven't actually maxed up the main tree yet, but one fucking thing at a time. Anyway, that's where plot is, so let's continue going north. So that's fair enough. I still very much love this game. I have my gripes with it, as we've talked about before, but I still very much love it. The next DLC is the free one, though, the one that's adding the whole of Ryza 2's map to the game. And I don't know if that will have story beats or whatnot. I kind of hope it'll have a little bit, because, like, I'm hoping it'll be like, hey, based after the event, and you at least get to see Tao go back to his studies, considering, like, what other reason would Ryza have for going back to the city, but we'll have to see. Considering that's the free one, I imagine that will be less significant. I put it as a really fucking fun game, but not the masterpiece some of the others are. That's the way I look at it. Because you know me, I'm not a real big score person. I just put it as it's a super fun game I can recommend to just about anyone. But if you're someone who's super into the Atelier games, there's going to be others you play that will probably be more enjoying, but it doesn't change the fact this game's still super fun. Each kingdom is making breakthroughs at a dizzying pace. The speed of each kingdom's technological advancements is increasing exponentially. Such rapid developments is welcome news to some, but a bad omen to others. We can only hope that the delicate balance does not become upset, resulting in a catastrophic collapse. But yeah, there's a cauldron there, and there's a cauldron there. These cauldrons have unique things to them when you use that specific cauldron. Like, unique things that will affect, like, what you make, how it makes, what it gets on it, etc, etc. Which is why it feels like, in fact, that each cauldron has its own things. So that's trait bonuses. This is ancient smithing techniques. It makes me think that maybe they want to do, like, something with cauldrons again. That's too much. Starting game is settled with a conclusion. Yeah, and I have to keep saying it, I keep pressing it. This game is a Ryza conclusion, not a Secret Saga conclusion. And, like, even, like, some of the more recent interviews with, like, the dev team and whatnot really kind of hammer it in. That it's more like the team, it's not that they wanted to move on or that they were done with Ryza. It's just that they felt like they wanted to explore the Secret Saga with more people than just Ryza. And so this game, like, is, in all intents and purposes, been confirmed to be the Ryza swan song, but not the Secret Saga swan song, which is why it isn't a conclusion. It's just another middle piece. Like, it's like they've designed this to, at least from what we can tell, be a 4-piece show and not a 3-piece. And so instead of it being like, you know, like Ireland and Mysterious, where it became a 4-piece later on, but was originally intended to be just a trilogy, this one is always intended to be a quadrilogy. It's just whenever that 4th one is. It was one character to begin with. No, from what I can tell, it was what they wanted to do. And I think it wasn't that they burnt out of Ryza or didn't want to do anything with her anymore, sort of thing. They just wanted this to be a good stopping point for her. Also, here's the other new mechanic. There's sandstorms. When you're within sandstorms, you get way better resources, but the enemies are stronger. But if you beat the enemies in the sandstorm, they drop better resources. So it's risk versus reward. You can go into here, get more dangerous things. You take chip damage when you're in the sandstorm as well, so you have to be a little careful. But everything's better. But that does also, by proxy, get me excited to see what Secret Saga 4 will do. Because, let's be real here, with the whole, you know, Ryza setting out on her own journey and, like, wanting to explore the world with her alchemy at home thing, there's a good chance she'll become that teacher role again, won't she? And so we might get another Furious-esque character. And yeah, Ryza 2 was a decision. No, I like... My problem with Ryza 3's story isn't Ryza. I think Ryza's character arc, but Ryza's character arc alone is alright in this game. I enjoy it for what it is. She's always been curious about the world, always been trying to find her way in growing up. She really finds it and finds her footing here. But the stepping stones were always there from the last 2 games, so I think I like it for that. My problem, outside the fucking Code of the Universe stuff, is the other characters. Is that their stories just aren't finished. What's this one? Great increases the item level of finished products. Okay, item level could be nice. Because, as I said, Claudia's story arc is not finished. She hasn't found a cure for her mother yet. Boss's is mostly finished. He just needs to, he's put the ring on it. He's put the ring on her. He just needs to actually, you know, help out fixing the underworld so Kilo can come to, our world. I'll fight this thing. I'm probably gonna regret it. You know, there's a lot of threads for characters. I'm trying to remember them as I go on. Patricia is literally, landlocked by her father. You know, because of that promise that she's not allowed to, she's not allowed to leave the city the whole time Tao's studying. So she's literally locked home and unable to go explore and spread her wings. Because of her father's decision to basically restrict Tao. So that's a loose story thread. Bing ding, bing ding. Dun, 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 dun. And so on and so forth. Tao's got to finish his studies. Some character stories are pretty much done. Or, like, they're done enough that we don't really need another game to explain further. Like, we know that, like, you know, Lila and Empel deeply care for each other and are basically married but not. They're gonna, like, find their way and click together off screen. We don't need to see that happen. It'd be nice, but it's not no immediate rush. It would just be something that could be done on the side. Start a new character. I think it would have been cool, kind of going with that idea, if they still had it being Ryza lead for this game, because it was always what they wanted to do. So once again, it's just their vision. It's what they wanted to do, and I respect it. But they could have had like one of the characters, maybe a side or main character, kind of be the inevitable pass the torch character. Maybe not a playable one, so it doesn't like take the magic away when they become the main in the next game. But like meet someone along the way, and maybe that is what like we're saying this, and this might be like before, I don't know, fucking Kilo like learns alchemy and becomes the pro tag in the 4th game. But you know, but still, like they could have introduced and helped build it up. But no, I think they want to like not start fresh, because obviously they're going to have a lot of secret threads, like secret saga threads carrying on. Yeah. Where's the oh, it's south. We went straight past it. Whoops. But then they could use it as an excuse to go super far away. Like, I mean, we've had some kingdoms that are a little further out and whatnot, but they could do, like, almost, like, so far away in the context of the Secret Saga of a kingdom that, like, the culture is so radically different, it feels alien to us, so it still feels new. And then introduce our new main character. I still stand by the fact I really want a main character that is, it's been too long, I've already forgotten the tribe name. Who's one of, like, Lila's people. I forgot, the Oran, or whatever they're called. My brain's already fried. Still on the idea of Secret 4 being about the Age of God. Yeah, it depends how they go. If they make, like, Secret 4 more of a prequel than a sequel, then I can absolutely see them re-exploring Age of God. Because Age of God has some interesting things, it's just padded down with a lot of, like, fancy RPG wordery. And if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Where it's like, they don't go, like, they don't explain everything. It's just the Age of God, the code of the universe. You know, like, all these, like, extra fancy words that are a little more than they kind of needed to be, that don't actually help explain shit. I know that, like, the Age of God is just basically the precursor to everything. That's the whole point. And the code of the universe is just the machine left behind by those godlike people. But it's still, like, come on, there was so much more they could have done with it. Okay, you can get your Golf Ally Pro Tag. True, that would be nice. Alright, let's mess with this. What does this mess with? Does it move the builder? Okay, I was about to say, Okay, so these do actually move it. Soundbite. Or platitude. Yeah, probably. Ooh, I kind of like that. You know what would be sick? I'm saying this now just in case it happens. If we can interact with these to make rocks float, I hope we can make a path float and then like jump across it and then drop the rocks to make a different path or something. That'd be cool. Oh hey, speaking of platforming. Go fight any Asia gods, yeah. Something else that I've kind of learnt going on. There is a remarkable amount of Atelier games that have a machine or computer program of some kind be like the vessel of God. Like, I was kind of looking into it and it's like, I counted like just kind of like a cursory glance through like the whole franchise, like 6 instances, and I was like, huh. I get it's the whole like nature versus machine a little bit with some of these games, but equally it's just like, huh, it's interesting how often that happens in Atelier. Because although I don't know exactly what game it's in or like the context of it, there's one in Ireland and there's one in Dusk. And I was just like, huh, okay. And then obviously there's one in this game with the Code of the Universe. I think Mysterious is like the only saga to really not do it. Because apparently, like, I think there's a machine in Grandid as well, and there's a machine god thing in the Iris games. The only ones I'm not sure on are Mana, because Mana I actually plan to play through myself quite soon. Or not on stream, just in my spare time. Because I wouldn't really be able to stream it anyway, because, you know, I'm just going to fire up I've got a PS2. I'm going to buy a PS2 copy. Yeah, Mysterious and Salberg seem to be the only two that straight up don't do it. That I'm aware of. Like, Salberg is probably because, you know, the plots are a lot more simple and, like, down to earth. And Mysterious is because you fight Luard, who's trying to make himself a god, so that's not a machine, it's just someone trying to be a god. You fight, you know, dragons in Fearless, depending on which route you go. You fight, the Shade, you fight that darkness monster in Lily and Sully, and you fight an actual god, like, affected by, like, the I forgot what the darkness was called in Sophie 2, it's been too long. So it's like you actually fight like Sophie's the only one that I think fights an actual god. I think everyone else fights machines left by God or something like that. And she's fought a god twice technically, because she fought Luard, who's trying to make himself a god, and fought Elvira. This isn't good. The area where the monsters are rampaging may collapse at any moment. And Sophie is gone, yeah. Don't they realise that they're putting themselves in danger too? This island is full of crumbling buildings, but I guess that's partly the monster's fault. Oh, and Dion they haven't finished his story arc with. He's only just started becoming a warrior. And, you know, following under Lent. And Lent's father is looking for their mother. And that hasn't got an answer yet, so... Sis, can we drive him away? As my, like, wristbands keep clipping through me. They're all over the place, so it might be tough. How's the he's like, I want to do it. Lila, your thoughts? Dion, though. I mean, fair, but equally, I'd still want like to see where that goes. So I didn't mind Dion. He was the least interesting character of the bunch, but it doesn't mean I didn't like him. We're a far cry gone from Ryza 1, where I had main characters I just straight up didn't like. You know? Like, the character writing as a whole, I still prefer in this game. It's just... Dion's kind of the one that's kind of there. Like, I don't dislike him, it's just he's not... I don't love him, you know? Whilst, like, back in Ryza 1, I disliked Tao, I disliked Boss. Lord knows I fucking hated Lumber. Well, I wanted to mix up the costumes, and I thought if we're going to a summer place, I'll give Ryza something summery, so I just settled on this. It was either that or the bikini, but, no. Out the hat, my paper. Oh, fair enough. I'm all for it. Alright, let's fight one of these guys. Let's see if I'm going to get whooped. Oh, Mysterious Rose is playing. Not Mysterious Roses, Malicious Roses, sorry. My favourite normal battle theme of Knights of Azure. Okay, it's also kind of cute. Yeah, maybe. If I end up doing a second stream of this DLC, depending on how big the story is, I will put the bikinis on and make it like summer wear because, you know, deserts. 108, okay. Also, I very much appreciate Ryza 3 gets a complete bonus point for fucking free for this. That Blue Reflection's Second Lights music is in this game. Because, Jesus Christ, it was so upsetting when Sophie 2 didn't have Blue Reflection Second Light music on it. I was like, please, it came out after Second Light. You can have Second Light soundtrack. Come on. So this actually having Second Light soundtrack as an option to mix the music in, it immediately gets like an extra star from me. It's just earns itself 3 point. There we go. Fair enough. Move by BSLR, I liked it by giving 9, and that's fair enough. Like, for me, and I said it right off the rip, and I've said it almost every time I bring it up, the biggest reason why it went for me is because I am an extremely empathetic person to fictional characters. I always have been, because I grew up with video games as an escapism. I didn't have many friends, I was bullied a lot at school, you know, parents divorced, college, I was abused a lot, all that rest. I never had a place I felt welcome growing up, and so I always treated the characters on screen as my friends, the characters on screen as my family. However sad that may sound, I don't really care, it's just how I was. And so a game built around empathy, of course I was going to link to it, and of course I was going to gravitate to it more. Because I was always empathizing with these characters, and always love the characters I see on screen. And so a whole game where its central theme is that empathy, of course it was going to pull me in. What helped is that Blue Reflection Second Light's also super fucking good, even ignoring my bias. And so I love it, and so like it's one of my all-time favorite games now because it feels like it was a game hand-tailored for me. There are little things I'd love to see changed or worked on in a future title, because obviously the more you love it, the more you should be prepared to criticize it and all that rest. But it doesn't change the fact that it's one of the most significant games I've played in years. It's for my life and for me, and so I will always hold that game very closely to my heart. I was literally saying before you joined One Man that like I've been really itching to go through it again. I don't know where I'd put it in the schedule, but I think another round is due at some point. And like a new season. A new season is coming. And it'd be fitting as well, considering we're approaching summertime here in the UK. But we'll see. I don't know where I'll fit it in. Maybe if we get spare time in August, considering August is going to be kind of stacked anyway. And I want to see my wife Uta again. It's been too long. And I'm not playing the fucking mobile game to see her. I know that she's just had her like story event in the mobile game, but I honestly don't care about the mobile game. I mean, they did an event for Uta, they did an event based around the anime, and they're just currently starting up an event based around Second Light. And I mean, all of it's like, that's awesome, you're into the mobile game. Awesome. Enjoy it. Enjoy what I love about Blue Reflection, just in a different context. I just don't care for the mobile game personally, because it's just, you know, another mobile game, you know, with microtransactions here, there, and everywhere, and, you know, the usual bells and whistles. Oh, a male self-insert in a game that has always had, not Yuri vibes, literally Yuri coding, because, you know, like, the names of the areas are themed off Japanese words for girls discovering their sexuality, for fuck's sake, in both games. It's literally supposed to be part of the theming of girls discovering themselves growing up and whatnot. So no, I don't care about a male self-insert in the mobile game. This month's on my channel, I take liberty to celebrate the entire month. Coded is usually genre. Yeah, I mean, it's the entire premise, or not premise, because obviously its premise is the theme of empathy, but it's literally like deep rooted. Like, you know, Al discovering herself as it goes on throughout the game as well. Uta literally being in love and confessing her love to Al as it goes on. The whole thing with Reina being one of the strongest willed protagonists or main characters I've seen in a while. With her, I don't care if a god says you're supposed to die. I fuck God. I'm gonna save Yuki anyway. Like, crack on, Reina. You go, girl. You know, like, it's like, you go, girl. They don't just imply a subtext. Oh, is there an objective back here? Or is it just fight off these guys? Hang on, let me check. Defeat the monsters ravaging the facility. Oh, so we do have to fight all these guys. Because it's still one of my favourite extra like little scenes you can get right at the very end if you max out Uta. When you go back to the flower, and she says that her heart always races, and that she doesn't understand it when she sees the flowers, and Ao goes, that's because it reminds you of your grandmother. And she goes, but what does this heartbeat mean? And it's because you love her. And she goes, but it happened the same. I get the same feeling when I see the flowers when I look at you, Al. And I'm just like, ah! It's like, and Al's a dumbass. She just goes, what? But it's just like, no. she just admitted it. She loves you, Al, and she's the only girl that does it. So it's not like kind of like harem fantasy because you maxed out all the social links. No, Uta is specifically coded to be the one that likes Al. You know, everyone else is always, you're like a best friend, or you're like a sister to me. No, Uta's the only one that says, I love you, basically. Determined. I don't know, the fact that, like, you know, knowing that a god can probably hear her saying, I don't give a fuck what the god says, I'm going to save Yuki. I don't care what fate has decided, I'm saving Yuki. I thought it was pretty kind of, like, fucking cool. At least to me, I thought it was really badass. I know it's like, you know, anime pro tag and whatnot, but you gotta keep in mind, this game's like Blue Reflection pushes that they're just kids first, you know? So it really is a kid in love who's determined to make sure the person she loves stays alive. Like, Rain is one of the most determined wives ever. Also, the music that's playing. Thank you, Manakamiya. I think this is Stigmata. Yeah, like I said, when you treasure, you have no choice to be invincible. Yeah, and I think Reino encapsulates that pretty well. Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing I miss. It's not that I know a lot of people say, oh, I miss the electric guitars and I miss the rock, and I do too a bit, but that's not the biggest thing I miss. The biggest thing I miss are vocals. I think that's the biggest thing I miss. Like, they're more orchestral now. We even noticed it in Sophie too. Aria, the final boss theme of that game, is orchestral. It's not lyrical, whilst all the other final boss themes in the Mysterious games are. And I get it's just a, it's just the changes, it's just different things that happen. And a lot of the, songs... So I'm going to let that bit play for a second. A lot of the songs tend to be, licensed outside of it, which makes it awkward for re-releases, because, part of the reason... So I was looking into it, why the Arlen Trilogy, Dust Trilogy, and Mysterious Trilogy didn't come out, with, the proper PS4 collection straight away, when the PS4 came out, wasn't because they had to work on the remasters, although that's obviously a part of it. It was because they had to re-establish the rights for some of the lyrical stuff. So unless they start doing a lot of the songs more in-house, they have to do all licensing stuff. But if they have an orchestra that they can do cool things with, obviously that's less licensing to worry about. They're going to use that. Create some standout like Ryza 2's RS2, it's not 1 3. Yeah, 1, I like 1 as a more nostalgia track. Everything makes me feel good, but it doesn't stick out. And I think that's the biggest thing with Ryza 1's soundtrack. With music, so I should struggle with that. Yeah, then there you are. Whilst, Ryza 3, it felt like it was trying too hard to be like 1, and kind of missed the point of what made 2 magic a little bit. I think Ryza 3's soundtrack as a whole is still pretty good. I just think it's the weakest of the trilogy. I think Ryza 1's music was more nostalgic and more, like, welcoming for me, and Ryza 2's soundtrack is just great. God, I love Stigmata as a track. I'm glad I chucked that in. But either way, it would just be nice if they could find a way to get, like, another lyrical boss theme. Because it doesn't necessarily be rock. Like, Filling the Shade was an amazing boss theme that didn't have rock in it. You don't need to have rock in it to be an amazing vocal track, but it'd just be nice. Oh, more Knights of Azure music. We seem to get Knights of Azure a lot. I've only got like 2 Knights of Azure tracks on there, so it's weird that we're getting it so much. Distinctive track. As vocals, they could just sing just as well. Yeah, I wonder, like... Obviously, we don't know what goes on behind closed doors in a lot of ways, but I wonder, like... What is, like, the music department like? Entirely for Gust? And how much... I think the better question, actually, if we're being honest, the better question is how much budget does Koei Tecmo let Gust's music department have? How much allocation, like, budget, allocation, is that the right word? I think that's the right word. Might be wrong. Do they get? Because if they don't get that much of as not enough of it, that might be why. Because they might have to pay more to get vocalists in if they don't have their own. I mean, yeah, it'd be nice if they had their own. It'd be kind of weird if they didn't, but still. Oh, this is Varushka's battle theme from Knights of Azure 2. I was trying to actually pinpoint which boss fight it was. Distribution, but allocation was as well. Yeah, I meant distribution, but my brain just kind of locked onto that word for some reason. I mean, an example of what I mean with like some of the vocals not carrying over. The full main theme of Knights of Azure 2, maybe it is in there, but I couldn't spot it in the music selection for this game. So, because even that's a song as well, it might just be that, you know, it wasn't worth the money for like one DLC to go get it, you know? Well, which is weird, because they've got Omen, which uses the backing track of that song, just doesn't have the lyrics. So it's like, I would have thought, like, the track's remix off of it might also have been, like, owned by the singer, but maybe not, because it doesn't have the vocals. I don't know. Maybe it's not that technical. Also, I need to heal. Look at Ryza hanging on a prayer. But they get the Leia in like every single fucking game, so, and I'm pretty sure that one also has, you know, vocals from outside, so they clearly have their priorities. I still stand by the fact I want a Knights of Azure 3. Not because, you know, Knights of Azure 1 or 2 are phenomenal games I want to see more of, because as much as I enjoy both of them, they're both very fucking flawed. Very fucking flawed. And it's more because I want to see them try it again, because I think they've learnt since, you know, Knights of Azure 2's release in 2017. If they applied it properly to a third game, they could really make something amazing that stands out separately from Atelier, instead of just kind of being a different series that stands in the shadow a little too much of it. Because especially, you know, after playing a bunch of Atelier games, I really noticed in Knights of Azure 2 that the game kind of feels like it's trying to escape the shadow of Atelier too much, and instead of just kind of vibing. Knights of Azure 1 feels like Dragon's Dogma an enemy. Yeah, that's fair. It is, like, Knights of Azure 1 is kind of, like, janky and weird. I still like it for what it is. I think the ending distribution is a little pointless, but that's a whole different thing. Basically, there's 3 different endings to the main game, but none of them matter, because when you get your ending, you're saved just before the final boss, but now 2 super bosses are unlocked. If you go beat those 2 super bosses, you get the true ending anyway, and it doesn't matter which of the 3 endings, like the 3 normal endings you get that same post game. So it makes those 3 endings feel kind of superfluous. It's like, well, they're just kind of, which of the 3 false endings do you want? And then you could just go get the true ending. visuals and design. Oh, I thought you were more... Oh, fair enough. I thought you were more talking about how, like, it's kind of janky. Yeah, that's fair too. Even if Arnis is very fucking obvious who her inspiration is, with her bright hair and big red coat. You know, it's very fucking clear what inspired her design. Looks like that's the last of them. Dion, what's the matter? I'm not sure. When I saw those monsters, I knew I had to do something. The ruins were what kept the people far alive. It's true. I just... as much as I hate to admit it. So I felt I had to protect them. That was me why I don't get it myself. There's only doing a DMC anime OP, but the main from Arnis, yeah. I'll be really curious to see what they do with Arnis, because I mentioned it in the Knights of Azure 2 review, but Arnis is effectively immortal now. I mean, she can die per se, but she's unaging because of the demonic blood in her has corrupted her body. She's more demon than human, so she's literally like half demon, half human, like fucking Dante as well. And you see the DMC anime? Yeah, I have it on DVD. I'm still looking forward to the new one by Powerhouse Animations, whenever that is. But yeah, I've seen the original one on DVD. Treat to a good dinner. How come? Don't worry about it, come on, let's go. Yeah, you're showing that you're growing up a little bit. That's why they want to treat you. You can roast some of the monsters we stayed earlier. As you know. Vaguely. It's been... yeah. Yippee, that monster meat really does smell incredible. Yeah, I guess I'll show some skills tonight. More random would you like to trade quests unlocked in the Namid region. You unlock more random quests in Namid for doing shit in here? Interesting. So I wonder if there's going to be other quests where you unlock more for, like, random quests that can be found in the Kark Isles or some shit. What do you got here? White Sand of Eternity. God, there's so much. Ooh. I'm hoping we'll pick up some more new resources. Because we already picked up a number of new stuff when we got here. That's like exclusive to this area. It's just on itself. But yeah, because of like how they're handling Arnis, with her having like, you know, all this demonic blood in her and whatnot, and her... because I didn't get to mention it in the review because I discovered it afterwards. It's implied that her wife is still alive somewhere out there. Through some means of magicry. She might be somehow... Oh, Jesus Christ, another thing. She might be somehow alive out there, but they leave that as a thread, and she plans to go exploring with Christophorus to try and learn more about where Lilise has gone. And it's like, okay, so that's a loose thread for a third one, her on the hunt for a wife. And whatever she stumbles across along the way. I think Namid's like my least favourite region, but... Yeah, Namid is kind of weak. I'm hoping, like, it is that whole... What they're going for is, like, there's a bunch... Because there is a bunch of world quests around here. Like, there's, you know, one there, there's one there. That's plot. There's two there. You know, there's a bunch of stuff here, so I imagine it's going to be, like, maybe one for each region, and then a few extras. Is this treasure just beneath us? I kind of don't want to just jump down. I mean, I don't mind Namid because it's the area where Patricia joins your party, but still. Oh, and Lilla and Empel. And you have to go through Namid technically to get to Carla, so it gets some brownie points by what happens in it, but the region itself, no, the region itself's the least fun to explore, at least for me. I'm gonna admit I'm a smidge lost. I'm just gonna... Okay, that's where we fought that thing. Got it. So this is the platforming. Okay, so it goes in a circle. Okay, I'm not lost anymore. God, enough said. Yeah. And as for the mains of Knights of Azure 2, with Al and Liliana, they are both eternally holding back the Moon Queen, so that could easily also become a loose thread of its own. Of Arnis may find a way to break them out whilst keeping the Moon Queen imprisoned in a third game, so they can get there happily ever after as well. And Rue doesn't have to keep on being completely alone. Can't marry Serio, Sophie, and picking Carla. Oh shit! Okay, ooh, interesting camera angle there. Okay, let's don't look at the glitches. Let's go platform the other side. Okay, I'm glad she can mantle these. I was going to say, because the platforming's a little awkward in this game. It's a little awkward in every Atelier game that has platforming, to be fair. I mean, we literally just tried to do platforming last Toadstool stream, and it went awfully, because, like, the camera angle was bad. Yeah, neutralizer. And I appreciate that this isn't like, you know, the standard post-game DLC areas like Ryza 1 and 2. It isn't just a bunch of really good shit for near free and some tough enemies around. It feels like just the next area you would go to of the game sort of thing. Like, it feels like the next step up without being too much. And the resources, like if I check my basket, look, they're all around like the mid-100, which keep in mind you have to be in post-game to get here. Not bad. I also like that this ruins is actually just kind of like almost like a full dungeon that you can just kind of freely explore. And this is more of what I want. I want to do more like ruin expeditions in whatever comes next, because I really miss that from Ryza 2. It was like my favorite thing from Ryza 2 was all the ruin expeditions. And learning all the lore of the world, learning about, like, you know, the Moon Witch. Which is, it's funny that, you know, the same writers, Moon Queen, and then you got fucking the Frozen Moon Witch. They really like moon people. I wonder if they played Final Fantasy IV growing up. Okay, I don't think there's anything up here. I had to check. Can I jump the railing? Yes, I can. Thank goodness. Should I just snap? Okay. It's also nice to have like a really big basket size again. You know, after playing the Island games where you have like fucking 60, take it or leave it. And I still stand by the fact that if the Atelier games are never going to do time limits again, they should get rid of container and restrictions. Basket restrictions, sure, because then it ensures you actually go home to your Atelier every now and then. But container restrictions, it feels like it made sense when there were time limits, because it was like a punishment for being overly greedy of your stuff, and you might end up fucking yourself in other ways, which is just put more pressure on from the time limit. But now we're not really doing them anymore, it feels superfluous. It just feels like an unnecessary restriction, even if it is like 10k. But I'm also aware that could be, I hope not, but it could be data limits that's causing that. There's still a few things here and there, but I think we've done the most of our expedition here. Like, especially considering there's still Switch versions of these games, it might just be like a data limit. Like, it becomes too much to process to have too large an inventory, where each item has to be individualized because of the quality or traits that could be on it. And if that is the case, then so be it. But if they do have the ability to get rid of them container restrictions, it'd be very nice. That's production quantity. Alright, yeah, we're pretty much done with what I want to do here. There's a couple chests around, but I'm not that fussed. Let's go down this way. I'm enjoying the fact that this area is like the Kark Isles, where you can kind of just pick a direction and go explore and stumble into things. And it doesn't feel like you're like semi-railroaded. What's the random quest? Oh, I'm just going to take this. I think it might be fighting enemies. It absolutely is fighting enemies. Okay, let's just move on. What's the objective we've got in here? Oh, just water. Okay. What about fish? Usuals. Oh, there's a bird here we got to find. Got it. It's for Tao's thing. Got it. Oh, hey, another pot. What's this one? Reduces item level of finished product. Oh, so the opposite of the other one. Interesting. Failure after failure, again and again. Nothing but failures, I'm sick of it. Paradise is just a lie they've sold you all on. Enjoy the rest of your miserable life slaving away like worker ants. Oh, he sounded nice. Oh, I like that getting close to these things puts stuff in your container. So you got one that ups the alchemy level and one that lowers it. I mean, the one that lowers the alchemy level could be kind of nice. If you like really want to like super boost something. Okay, I'm not sure where that birdie is, so we'll come back. Oh, it could be over here to be fair, it's a big zone. Why couldn't it just be one big vine? That's what I want to know. Why do you have to do it in, like, stepstones? Neither water nor light, no physical form detected, yet it certainly exists. Is it imbued into other objects? Not mana? Similar, but not the same. The thicker the Earth's energy, the thicker the mana detected at the same site. Okay, there is a step. I was going to say, hey, hang on a minute. What do you mean? No, there is a step. Yes, that is towels. And we can just drop down there. This is kind of cool. Oh, there's another ruins. Where's that gargantuan tower that the game wants us to approach? At some point. There's like a super fucking tall tower. It's probably behind this clear face. But there's a super tall tower the game wants us to explore at some point. Do you know this ore, Miss Ryza? This island is the first place I've seen it. What do you think, Claudia? It looks like ametite, a kind that's only found in the western regions of the kingdom. It's apparently very precious, and I've never actually seen it in person. These colours are gorgeous. This DLC is significantly bigger than I thought it was, considering how much map we have to explore. We haven't even got back to the story beat, so this might end up being more than one stream. If we don't get it done today, I might rearrange the streams and do more of it tomorrow and get back to Toturi on Friday. Which means we won't be starting Maruru this week, because I doubt we're finishing Toturi in one stream. Because looking into it, apparently there's 7 years to Toturi, so reaching the highest rank is only the first half of the game, so the second half will probably be finding the origin of Toturi's mother. Oh, it's amazing. The purple part is fairy stone, and the yellow looks like glass, if we can make good use of it. Please, would you mind helping me find more? Wow, someone's eager. Sorry, I just thought the Sardonican craftsman would work wonders with it. I'll be turned to Azure tomorrow. Fair enough, dude. If I do end up streaming this tomorrow, I will change the costumes again and probably actually put them in something more appropriate for the boiling temperatures. Let's look for the highest quality pieces. But it's still early in the stream, so who knows. Oh, we got moved down here. We got shuffled down the slope for the cutscene. Bonnie, you put yourself in the worst spot. There we go. Oh god, these look way bigger. The Shrine of Enlightenment. Oh hey, there's another cauldron. Trait adaptation. And there's a quest in here. You know what, let's go fight the sharks. I feel bold and or stupid enough. End of June. They're both Azure and Tokyo, that game. Done before Reveries release. Awesome. Just preemptively set them up. This is a lot of terminology. I may have found a different title to mean the same thing. Oh, okay, fair enough. But my point, messaging you on it wasn't to criticize. It was more just to point out, like, almost like just like if there's a big word sort of thing, and you think there's even the slightest chance that maybe someone won't get it for whatever reason, just go to things like word relevancy and see if it's still being used. And if it comes back with an astounding who the fuck using this word, maybe then, as much as it may hurt you to have to do so, consider alternatives. You know. There's nothing wrong with teaching people it as you go, but equally it's like there's got to be a point where it's like something has to give to help people keep along with it. Anime triple threat. Oh, that sounds cool because you could make like wrestling like themed jokes a part of it, sort of thing. So in one aspect, this anime fucking, then you say like a wrestling terms, this other anime is right, you know, you could incorporate it into the language a little bit, make it a bit punny. You don't have to, obviously, but I'm just saying that you could maybe like have a bit more fun with it. Like, I want to make What Was a series at some point. You know, like I did What Was Knights of Azure 2. I want to make that a series covering other games. I want every game I cover to not necessarily be like the nichest thing ever, but just out of the spotlight kind of games. Because Knights of Azure are definitely out of the spotlight, even like compared to, you know, Gust's other properties. So I can deal with that. You don't have to. I was just more making it as like a joke if you feel like you can squeeze it in, so it'd be kind of funny. Like, you know, like don't take that seriously, because that's just me being a dork. Eldritch in nature will be its own form of content. Yeah, true. You can make that a show. One man teaches, and it's like the word of the day is. That just reminded me of the fucking Persona 4 comic. The word of the day is futile. As in, your futile existence has no meaning. Chie, do you know any other words that start with F? Thursday? Excellent. Now all together now. Your futile existence has no meaning. Alright, let's get serious. I'm gonna kill everyone in this room. I miss that fucking comic. That was like peak early YouTube, the fucking comic dub. I could always parody teachers, see? Yeah. Good idea. That's gone to put it off, fair enough. The Hi, I'm Daisy comics in general were all brilliant. Whether it was Persona 4 comic dub, whether it was the Persona 3 one-off, whether it was Let's Destroy Metal... Oh god, Let's Destroy Metal Gear, Let's Destroy Metal Gear again, Let's Destroy the Shagohod, and Let's Defeat the Fox Unit were all brilliant as well. Fucking, like, Kid Solid Snake and Liquid Snake going up to their dad to brag about what they had done. It's still one of my favorite fucking scenes from Fox Unit. Dad, guess what? I just learned my 5th language today. That's great, son. You make your father proud. Father! I just learned my 7th language today. Get out! My liquid just can never catch a fucking break. We need to come up with a name of the man who surpassed the boss. And then someone just writes big above boss. All of them were great. Unfortunately, like, the original Let's Destroy Metal Gear kind of got swept under the water a smidge when it first came out, because it came out around the same time as Ego Raptor's Metal Gear dub, and that was like fully animated and a lot more aggressive and a lot more in your face. It was just, and to be fair, it was also really fucking funny. And so more people just gravitated to that, but over time people came around to fucking Let's Destroy Metal Gear also being comedy genius. It's a shame Hi-Am Daisy doesn't really do them anymore. Well, I think she still does the comic. I think it's more that they just don't get like actual dub overs, because that's all they are. They are just comic strips, and people would, like, voice actors would get together and do all the voices for it. And it would cut between the pages, sort of thing, to like better do it. So it was more, you could more listen to it as long as you knew who voiced who. But it was so fun. It was a different era. We're talking like, I remember watching these in primary school still. So I would have been like 10 or 11. So like we're talking like 2009, some of these. 2009, 2010. Like that's how like early YouTube they were. I didn't mean to get so like sidetracked. It's just like just saying that just reminded me of it a lot. Fucking Persona 4, fucking Dojima. I'm making coffee. How do you take yours? And the 4 options are black, cream, cream and sugar, and surprise me. Black? Don't act so tough, you sissy. Cream? Oh, coming right up, madam. Cream and sugar? What are you, Nanako? Nanako shows up. Daddy, I wanted black! Surprise me? He just throws the coffee at you. Oh, do I really want to fight this thing? Fine. Oh, we got another song. I can't remember which one I put this one on from. Oh, this might be one of the Dusk tracks I tracked on. So Dusk tracks I tracked on a little bit more randomly. But I have got Esha and Loji's final boss theme in one of the playlists. I think it might be in boss themes. Just because I have heard it before, so I didn't mind chucking it on. Not like the weirdest track ever. Especially in contrast to Maria, which I have also heard before. Like the Dusk trilogy's final boss themes just go all over the place on the ones I've heard, which is nice. It's more experimental, so it'll like make each one stand out, but still. Maria being like a very, very slow, almost choir piece with some rock here and there, and then like the very next final boss theme is I know Hi-Am Daisy did a few other comics as well, it's just they were the ones that I remember. And Persona 4 didn't even finish it. It only went about halfway through the game. Well, because Time Daisy got bored of doing it, because trying to transform the entire game into a comic is not easy. I do appreciate, though, it's one of the things that Atlus have done in the past that I did actually appreciate. Atlus actively reference it in Persona 4 Golden. They referenced the comic dub several times in Golden. I was just like, that's nice. Considering Hayam Daisy's comics getting millions of views on YouTube, honestly felt like the reason why most people even heard of Persona back in the day. So like, yeah, like that's like paying your thanks. Like, yeah, you're like, she's kind of part of the reason why Persona even got noticed, like, you know, pre-Persona 5 exploding everything up. Because in like one of Marie's social links, she asks you about food recommendations, and you can say "for steak" in reference to that one fucking joke of Chie. Can you think of any other word starting with F? And she goes "for steak." I'll just swap character. I don't want to wait forever for Ryza to have her turn, because I haven't got a key in place. I should really get the keys in place more often, just because of how quickly it speeds up your turn actions. I just don't want to waste them. I want to like encounter a big major boss first before I use one. Like I said, even when we're done with this DLC, although it'll be a shorter stream probably, we're not entirely done with Ryza 3 still, because there's the free DLC to come yet as well, adding Ryza 2's map, and we'll be covering that as well. But considering that one's a free DLC, I wouldn't be surprised if that one doesn't have as much story, and it's more kind of just like, hey, here's Ryza 2's map, go have fun. So the whole Ryza trilogy is under one roof, basically. Not their stories, obviously, if you want Ryza 1 story, you need to play Ryza 1, Ryza 2's Ryza 2. But Ryza 1, 2, and all of 3's maps are all under one roof sort of thing. Which is cool and all, but I'm gonna be honest as well. It kind of puts it's gonna put the pressure on the team, and I hope they don't feel it and understand that it's okay to make things smaller in the next game. I hope it doesn't put the pressure on the team that whenever they do Secret 4, it has to be even bigger. Because keep in mind, this game's gonna have 6 fucking zones by the end of its lifetime. 4 main games, this DLC, and Ryza 2's map. That's a hell of a lot of space to run around in. I hope they don't feel like get intimidating by it, by like, how do we top this, you know? Like, they don't need to try and match it or make the next game bigger if it doesn't fit. If it does fit, and like it suits out and works out perfectly, then brilliant. But I don't want them to feel like they have to do it, because like, they have to keep on making it bigger. I honestly wouldn't mind something more condensed. Oh, come on, I was hoping that was the last enemy. What level are you anyway, these enemies? 110, 81,000. Oh boy, I love that much health. At least you're weak to Astro Roses. Okay, I'm using a key. There we go, now we can have turns super quick. Get the speed boost. Thank you, Ample. We get turns even quicker! And next turn I'm going to start trying to reapply buffs. Just to get ready, because Ryza's like half health. Whee! There we go. Boop, boop. Don't be a third enemy after all this chaos. Two's enough. These guys are big boys. Hey, good. Increases the elemental value of it. Okay. Let's go do that. I'll tell you what, I'll make it like... I think the last time we did this was actually Sophie 1. I'll make it a dare. If I don't get this whole DLC done in one stream, next stream I'll have everyone in bikinis. As punishment. Well, reward for you guys, punishment for me for not getting a move on. And I'll rearrange the schedule and we'll probably stream it again tomorrow. And that includes the men. No, I'm not biased. Everyone gets involved in this. Okay, so that's a shortcut. So we're gonna see, like, our best boy boss. Oh, wow, these guys look different. Fine, I'll fight them, they're unique. Oh, is that impromptu? I'm hearing? I think it's impromptu from Sophie 1. I know I put it in the playlist somewhere. First Lotus and Juno, I think, are somewhere in here as well. But I think that might be on alternative battle themes, like quest battle themes, not normal ones. You can only put, like, I think it's 10 tracks per area, or per theme. So I had to kind of spice it up a little bit. I couldn't be biased. Even though, like, you know, Blue Reflection Second Light's normal battle theme is in here somewhere as well, because... are you kidding me? Of course I'm going to put it in there somewhere. I've also got Ryza 2's normal battle theme in here somewhere as well, just because it's the superior normal battle theme. Of all the normal battle themes I've heard in the series so far, Ryza 2's, like, first battle theme is still my favourite one. That track is such an obscene bop. It's, like, unfair how good that track is, compared to, like, some of the other tracks in the series. Yeah, no worries. I'm just talking about some of the music I've been putting on whilst working our way through these areas. Oh, Jesus, where'd you come from? Is that guy just jumping from nowhere? So I think this is impromptu I've got on, but I'm not 100% sure that's playing right now. Well, you can hear it from all the chaos, but still. But it's also been so long since the Sophie 1 days of streaming that I can't exactly remember every single track name. I just kind of be like, oh yeah, I recognise this one, I think it's from that one, you know? If the only exceptions being like Juno, Sadness, First Lotus, and obviously Leia Zaya, like some of the other tracks I don't exactly notice. I'll remember which game they specifically came from, especially considering how many Atelier games we've done in a relatively short time span. Some of them start to, I start to get muddled which track comes from which game, you know? It's just guitar solos. Yeah, I only hear guitar solos. Oh, it must be a Sophie track. You know? Because both Sophie games like really focus on like the guitar solos more than anything. Don't remember Sadness. I meant Sadness. Yeah, I meant Sadness, Juno, First Lotus, and Leia from Sophie 1. I remember. And vaguely Impromptu. This is what I'm thinking. I think this is Impromptu, but I'm not sure. Meanwhile, Furious is all on the Elmira battle theme, the Sophie battle theme, and Porokora. Porokora, I think, is a really underrated track. I really like that one. And then Lydia and Suli, it's Take Your Fucking Pick. Like, the entire soundtrack's a banger. Oh, Sophie 2 is my fave, yeah. Does it? My favourite normal battle theme is still hands down Ryza 2's normal battle theme. In terms of just normal battle theme, Ryza 2's soundtrack is such a bop. But in terms of general soundtrack, I don't know what my favourite actual soundtrack in general is for an Atelier game. Like, Sophie 1 is the most explosive, easily. Like, it's the most, like, pay attention to me fucking soundtrack, you know? Like, it's the most, like, in your face, really loud and powerful. But I don't know if it's my favourite. It's up there, I love it, but I don't know if it's my favourite soundtrack. I genuinely fucking love Lydia and Suli's soundtrack. I really fucking love Sophie 2's soundtrack. So I like Sophie 2, Ryza 2, sorry, soundtrack a lot. It's supposed to be Senpai Energy steroids, yeah. Yeah, they really wanted to make a bang with the very first Mysterious game, which is fair enough. Like, New Saga at the time, they wanted to make it hit. And they did it well. I figured out which track it's from. It's Knights of... I figured out what track it's from. Oh, it's not Knights of Azure. It's just got a similar beat. Interesting. I was like, this sounds like the city theme from Knights of Azure 2. Because it has the same bit. In fact, I know it's Impromptu. Do you know why? Because I remember saying the exact same fucking thing when I first heard Impromptu. Yeah, I remember saying the exact same fucking thing. When I first heard it, I went, man, this chorus bit is near identical to the city theme of Knights of Azure 2. And that's why, because I just fell for it again there. I was about to say it's the city theme from Azure 2. It's not. But that bit there is near identical in Sophie 2. Like, they literally almost, like, share the same notes. And it's not the only time that happens between Knights of Azure and Atelier main series. There's a track in Lulua which is almost note for note Malicious Roses from Knights of Azure 1. Well, it's not note for note, but it's almost the exact same spine. And so it's not the only time they do it. There's a couple tracks that get re-implemented into Atelier later on, or the other way around. This bit here is literally the city theme from Knights of Azure 2. It's the exact same melody and the exact same instrument. It just detours at the end here into something different, but it's the exact same, like, 30 seconds straight of that theme, which is why I noticed it. And which is why I thought it was Knights of Azure 2. It's just interesting little, like, thing to notice that they have that same bit. And then I remember it now, because I remember making the exact same comment when I first went through Sophie 1. When I first heard Impromptu, I was like, this is from Knights of Azure 2! Even though Knights of Azure 2 came out later, because Knights of Azure 2 came out the same year as Lydia and Suli and With Reflection 1. So obviously, Sophie was before it. Sophie 1 came out around the same time as Knights of Azure 1. Which I still think is brutal, that both Knights of Azure games came out next to, like, bangers. It's just like, so they just got double buried. Like, they already didn't do that hot. Like, I think part of the reason why we didn't get a Knights of Azure 3 straight away, and who knows if we ever will, is because it was reported that Knights of Azure 2 really didn't sell well. And it's like, yeah, no kidding, it came out the same year, only a couple months between it, Blue Reflection 1, and Lydian Suli. No wonder it didn't do too hot. Heck, Blue Reflection 1 didn't sell too well either. Lydian Suli was the only one that did well out of the three. It was only Blue Reflection Second Light, which, oh wait, had a 6-month gap of its release before Sophie 2 came out that actually did really well. And it's like, oh gee, I wonder if it's because it actually got room to breathe. And it wasn't immediately getting, like, shadowed by an Atelier game coming up. The way Blue Reflection 1 and both Knights of Azure games were. Which was just unfortunate. I don't know how much of it was on Gust's decision-making and how much of it was on Koei Tecmo, but it was still unfortunate that both of those, like in all those instances, they just got overshadowed by Atelier releases, because Atelier is more of the focus from people who support Gust, and rightly so, it's literally their premier franchise. This is the one they always put the most time and effort into. Oh, an Arkansas for free? Oh, and this is our other shortcut back to the entrance. Get the shimmering materials. Where? Oh, they're here. I like the music for this DLC area. I'll say that much. I've been enjoying the DLC music so far. No unique battle themes, unfortunately, but the actual desert has its own theme. Sample 66932 log, result failure. Temperature skyrocketed immediately after initialization. Metal components melted, causing an explosion. Cause is suspected to be loss of control of the energy absorbed. Our next challenge is to find a way to fix this. Research related to stellar cores may be useful. We'll incorporate theory from next experiment. Oh, there's still a bunch of treasure chests. Oh, a Kala quest. Okay, I wonder if this one's gonna, like, add more random quests to the underworld afterwards. Oh, what a wreck. I wonder what they researched in here. It appears to be a botany lab. Maybe they were trying to reforest the desert somehow? Or perhaps try to manage the land. With it left in this state. Oh, the monster will run amok. Oh, a bit of Lulua. A bit of Atelier Lulua. I've heard this theme before. This isn't the final boss theme. This is just one of the boss themes of Lulua. Can you see why I'm excited to get to the 4th Island game? Because the music in the 4th Island game fucking rules. Considering it was also like... Oh. In retrospect, not a send-off to very traditional Atelier, but in an essence, some kind of send-off to traditional Atelier, before Ryza started, you know, kind of adapting and changing things, and mixing it up, and basically just taking the series in a bit of a slightly different direction. Lulua rules. But this is the track in particular, actually, that I said reminds me of Malicious Roses a lot. Anyway, let's carry on. The chorus for this track is rules. When it kicks in, the in fact, you can hear it for yourself. I can't wait until we get to Lulua. I can't wait for every Gust game that we go to play. Here was Sophie vibes from NOA. It's more that, like, the track itself has the same spine as Malicious Roses. If you listen to both those tracks back to back, you'll be able to hear what I mean. Like, it feels like it's the same origin But yeah, I do get what you mean. It does give Sophie vibes because of like just the hard rock energy. But genuinely, I'm so like knee deep, like I'm so like in the rabbit hole of Atelier. It's like I can't wait to try out Maruru. I can't wait to try out Lulua. I can't wait to try out the Dusk games, even though the Dusk games I've been told are way fucking harder. But we'll get to that when we get to that. I can't wait for Atelier Marie to come out next month. You know, like everything. I just can't wait. I have such a love for this franchise over since last September when I started playing them. Of course, it gives me the Leo Sayer vibes. That's fair too. Speaking of that chorus, here it is again. Ah, oh, there it goes. Marine Reverie, yeah. And then the crazy thing is that following Gust's track record, Marie will come out in July, right? August, September is Tokyo Game Show. Tokyo Game Show is where they tend to announce their Atelier titles. Is where Sophie 2 was first announced, from my knowledge, and it's where Ryza 3 was announced. So there's a chance it will literally be 2 months free of Atelier, and the next one will be fucking announced. You know, which is wild. There's a part of me that if they don't announce anything in Tokyo Game Show, will actually be relieved because it means Gust are actually taking a little bit of breathing room after, you know, so much. I know they didn't make Marie entirely themselves. They had third-party support, but still. Imagine a 5th Mysterious game. Yeah. Well, as I said it before, the only reason Mysterious 4 happened was because they did a poll, and whoever character won would get another game, and Sophie won it. So if I don't know if they've done another poll and they just haven't told us, but you never know. If they do another Mysterious game, I genuinely really, I either want it to be Ramazol or based after Lydia and Sully. I either want Atelier Ramazol or I want post Lydia and Sully. Because I want to see Lydia and Sully again, and I want to see Grown Up Furious again. But I also want to see what they do with the cast. Now everyone's a little bit older. Older, sorry. I don't know where Random H came in. Okay, if humanity restored a little bit. Like, Sophie 2 was nice as a middle piece between Sophie 1 and Furious, and also just a very beautiful game, and even though it was, like, in between that and Furious, it still felt like the 4th game because of how much they referenced other stuff from later games. Like, it felt like a good, like, send-off to the Mysterious saga in its own way. But it's just, like, I would kill for a good Ramazol game that, like, immediately is based immediately after Sophie 2 when she returns to her time. And then you get to play as her as a lead, because Ramazol was such a fucking treat in Sophie 2. I can't even begin to stress enough how much I adored that character. Like, they made me retroactively feel sad for Sophie losing her grandma, because like, man, you lost Ramazol. I would be sad too, Sophie. I would visit that grave every day too, Sophie, if I lost someone like Ramazol. But yeah, but if they did something after Lydia and Sully, I'd love to just see Lydia and Sully more grown up. L and S are, like, I love those two beans. They're like my daughters, but I want to see them grown up, in the same way I really enjoyed seeing Furious grow up. So I had to wait for that moment, like the past where I was trying to cringe with her, because I found the awkwardness and a bit heavy on the Yuri coding. I didn't think there was Yuri coding with Sophie. It was more just her going into big sis mode, is how I felt. Like, she felt like the only Sama of Sophie for a lot of the game, even though she was technically the grandma. But I did get Yuri vibes out of her and the goddess. Like, those two seemed like they had a little bit more going on. Like, it seemed like there was almost a little too much trust between those two at all times. Which I thought was kind of wild. Imagine that, just like, hi Ramazol, what's your name thing? Oh yes, my first girlfriend was a goddess. Like, what the fuck? But I also hope, and I can't remember if they specify here, there, or not in, like, Sophie 2, but I really kind of hoped that Ramazol would end up with Diebold, because imagine Diebold actually being Sophie's grandpa, like, because of, like, timeline stuff. A new couple. No, I don't think they were awkward like a newly couple at all. I felt they were awkward that they were just told they were related but didn't know each other. Kind of awkward, because they were like, what the fuck are we supposed to do with this information? At least for me personally, not once in Sophie 2 did I feel like there was any Yuri coding between Ram and Sophie. At least for me personally. It always came across as like awkward sibling vibes. So that's just me though, but for me it never came across that way. The only like Yuri vibes I got out of Sophie 2 were Ramazol and the goddess. Yeah, so awkwardly. I mean, if you were in a random realm and someone came up to you and just went, "Hey, I'm your grandson," or "I'm your granddaughter," you'd be like, "What the fuck?" I'm like in my 30s. What are you on about? I would be dumbstruck by it. Regardless of like the realm and the nature of dreams and whatnot, it'd still take me a hot minute to kind of process it. And I'd probably still be awkward around it and not really know how to approach it at first. Equally, we're talking about a situation that will never fucking happen because it's make-believe, it's a fantasy, but still, you get what I mean. Wouldn't be surprised. I don't know. I think I'd still be surprised. Dream realm or not, you don't suddenly expect to bump into your next generation. Especially not 2 generations from now. It'd be one thing if like your daughter showed up, you'd be like, oh, okay. It's another thing when your granddaughter, who's not only like a couple years younger than you and in that realm, shows up. You know, you call this hang out and tell tales. Yeah, you do that later on, but first meeting, at least for me, I'd absolutely be awkward as hell. I'm introverted enough as is. I struggle with people. If you suddenly tell me, hey, we're connected from things in the future, I'd be like, hey, you're fucking what? Hold on. I think for me, if I if I was in that dream realm and met like a future generation of like my grandchild, and they were like fully like, you know, like they found their footing, because Sophie had already kind of found her footing a little bit by that point. She knew what she wanted to do. She knew what she was trying to achieve. She knew where her end goal was. She wanted to help Plutchta out, and she wanted to explore. And she was on her way to, the land where Fierce starts to start doing her like, you know, alchemy exam to get more officially approved and all the rest. I think I'd more just be proud. I'd be like, okay, so I must have done something right if whoever I had then had you, and you've come out this well. You know? I'd have some pride. I think that'd be my thing. Ambivert or an aggressive introvert. I unfortunately don't have the answer for you on that one. I think that's only something you can decide. I know for me, I'm super introverted. The desert seems to have won the reforestation battle. Perhaps the researchers gave up and left where their efforts failed. Nothing ever gets right for them, does it? Who knows what the truth of the matter was? Oh, maybe there's more quests yet then. Oh, we got 800 SP though out of it. Yeah, we had a ton of fun. Oh yeah, and I think we'd vibe. If I'm with other introverts, there's enough of like a mutual understanding of limits, at least for me, that like, I'm not, when you're like, no introvert's gonna suddenly drag another introvert to like a crowded bar, you know? It's not gonna happen. It's not like I don't really have that too much myself. I know some people do, where like the one extrovert of the group kind of just adopts the introvert into their life one way or another. I don't really have that. What was you about to say when you would have? Oh, that's a boss monster. Do I really want to fight you? It's an introvert. Well, case by case. I wouldn't appreciate getting dragged to a bar. If someone came up to me and was like, yeah, I'm going to take you to this bar, go on, it'll be fun, I'd tell you to do one. And it wouldn't even be up for discussion, I'd just tell you to go take a hike. So I don't drink, and I don't like pub atmosphere, or pub, bar, club atmospheres in general. Oh, I was like, what's this track that's playing? It's phase 1 of Sophie 2's Final Boss theme. You know, the ominous theme that plays before Aria plays. I'm playing pool slots. Nah, I don't do slots either. Pool I do. I'm not bad at, I'm not brilliant at pool, but I'm not horrible at it. Pool I could do. Air hockey I can do as well. I'd probably more take you to I'd steer away from like casinos or bars. I'd just take you to the arcades. My town has 3 fucking arcades. And they're all within like a square mile of each other. Like we have like, you know, traditional arcade machines. We have like the you know, we like the gun controllers. We like the air gun games. We have the air hockey. We have the basketball hoop game. Like, we have all sorts. If it's not in one arcade, it's bound to be in the other two. Don't have any. Oh, fair enough. To be fair, I say that currently it's on 2 because one of them got suspiciously burnt down. There was a suspicious accidental fire that destroyed the entire building, and so it's getting completely rebuilt into something else. So it's more 2 now. And I say suspiciously because it was someone was trying to buy out the land and buy out the building, and the person who owned it refused to sell it, and then suspiciously, like a week later, the whole fucking thing burnt down. There was like a freak fire overnight, and it's like, yeah, was it an accident? Was it? You know, like it seemed really hella sus. They're around here, fair enough. But we've still got 2 arcades at least. Who knows if the third one will get rebuilt into one or become something else, but still. Someplace, so yeah. That's cool. I remember going to Fort Park when I was a kid. When I was like 11 or 12. That was like the go-to place for like adventures. Because that was the roller coaster park. That was, you know, one of the biggest arcades in the country. Fort Park is huge. And what's brilliant about it is I went on a school trip and we had 8 hours of like a bottomless ticket to just go do what we want. I wish I was kidding. Like, we got there at like 9 AM. We didn't leave till like 6 PM. We just went on everything. It was brilliant. I was in year 7, so I was 12. And like in UK years. And like the school years are broke up in that way. We do like year 1 all the way to year 11. So I was like 11, 12 years old. You know what was even crazier? I didn't know this until I went there. Fort Park isn't like a giant park. It's an island. It's an isolated island with like one big bridge. So like you get on, when you're on like the coach heading over to it, when you finally get there like partway up the country, you just go on the big bridge and like this big like almost motorway-esque bridge or this highway-esque bridge, and it's like you can just see the island in the distance approaching. It's like, that's cool, but we're just on this little island of roller coasters. You know, that's really what it is. It's just an island of roller coasters, an island of arcade. It's like, this is fucking sick. Every kid had to like pay in for their ticket, and I think my ticket was like something like £30, so that's like something like $40 for like a day, like a day ticket, but it was still like amazing. The only thing that sucked with the queues, because we didn't have like the premium tickets or like the day rider, you know, those special like the queue jumping tickets. We just had standards. But it was so cool as a kid getting like approaching that. I went to the horror house. I went on the saw trap ride because, you know, there was a saw themed area. I went on Olympus twice, and then I went to go on it a third time, but got stopped because there was a fault in the roller coaster track, so it had to be closed down for the rest of the day. Olympus was wild. That was my favorite ride. I went on the waterfall ride like twice. Like, I went everywhere. It was so fucking fun as a kid. It was like, that was like the most extroverted I ever was as a kid, because I didn't give a fuck if my friends were around or not. I was like, I'm going on this ride now, I'm going on that ride now, I'm going on this ride now. And I wore like waterproof shorts so I could have like my phone in my pocket and not have to worry about someone looking after it. And then when it got to like, because we had, basically at 1 PM we had to meet in the central hall. That was the only rule. To like basically do like head check and get food. And then we had to meet at, I think it was 5:30 because the coach was at 6. So we had to go back at the main hall to like once again head count and then get everyone on the coach. I struggle with currency exchange. My general loose understanding that I go with, and it's not accurate at all nowadays, but I still use it just to try and give a heads up. If it's anything above £30, add 10 to it. That's probably around about what it is in dollars. If it's anything less, and it gets a bit more tighter. So like when I say it's like £30, it was probably around $40-ish. I say obviously that's not accurate now, because I said like my the reason why I have on my Patreon, to just talk about that for a second. The reason why I have it in tiers that are prefixed and like kind of steer away from just donate what you want is because of price conversion. Because if I just be like, hey, this game is £50, I know it'll be like $68 for you guys because price conversion is like whack. But if I put it on that, because if you just give me $60, there's a chance I won't be able to then pay for the game because of pricing. Especially nowadays for like some more Western than anything else. Some AAA companies don't care for conversion, and it's like, oh, it's $70. I'm like, okay, cool. How much is it in pounds? £65. Did you even fucking try? We're paying the equivalent of like $90 for the same game here. Come on. That'd be weaker. I mean, it's not as bad as some countries, I'm aware. If you live in like most third world countries that sell like the PS5 and Xbox Series X, I'm sorry, don't buy anything digital if you can help it, because oh my goodness, the price conversion doesn't exist. In some areas you're paying literally, I wish I was exaggerating, like close to like 11 times the amount you pay in the US just for one title. In terms of conversion prices, it's absurd. I'm just doing like one more check over the area before we try and move on. I mean, whatever comes to Indonesia. Yeah. Yeah, Indonesia, Brazil, I see seems to always get it really rough in terms of price conversions. And I've seen Australia can get up there sometimes as well. I say that Australia still have really like tight game censorship laws, so a bunch of games still don't even come out in Australia. But like they get weird price conversions as well. Like they will pay like the equivalent of like $100 sometimes. Why is this one a tick? What are you offering that I marked? I don't know. I'm gonna take it. Is that key? I can't check the map. I guess that key spot's above us. Like, oh yeah, it literally is. I can see it. So how do we get to that then? Maybe go down from that from these bones. Oh, is this going to lure us all the way up? Is this going to actually show me the way? Oh, nice. I like this DLC area. I'm just gonna Crimson Neutralizer. The fuck? Why is it on fire? What the fuck is this? I like this DLC area because it reminds me of what I liked about the Gargoyles. We're just kind of like, that's where plot is. We've just kind of gone everywhere else. And I love that. It's what I love about the Gargoyles. I end up spending ages just going and exploring and finding things. But all the areas afterwards progressively got a smidge more linear. Now, fortunate that we were the ones that conquered Paradise before any other kingdom. Nothing could get in the way of our research. Paradise, what a fitting name. O God of wisdom, the truth of the world shall be revealed to any day now. But you know what I would like if they wanted like continue to expand the world in future games? They've got the, like these air shoes, right? Hear me out. Mini games. They don't need to be like actual like mini games, go to a station sort of thing. But what if like say you're in like a giant open map and you're in like a snowy area, and when you get to the top of the mountain, there's a snowboard there, and you can ride that down, and like music starts playing, and there's little like little poles come up from the ground, and you go in between them, you get points. Then depending on how many points you get when you get to the bottom, they give you resources, or there's a treasure chest at the bottom. You know, so like just for your exploration, you get rewarded with like a little mini game thing to do. You go down the hill and like SSX music starts playing. Like just as an idea, like little things like that, I think could be kind of cool to them to like kind of expand ideas. No, no dumb mini games, Robu. No. Now's the time. Yeah, the dolphin expedition was nice as well. Just be able to hop on a dolphin and just go around. It kind of made this thing pointless. I'm gonna be honest. It feels like this thing joins way too late because you're kind of done with most of the Carcal expeditions. You do go back, but you're still kind of done with the expedition by then, so you don't spend that much time in the water. But genuinely, I'd love little things like that. Just little things like alternative things instead of just exploring the map all the time. Well, it obviously depends on the mini-game. Sonic Frontiers, I thought, was a good example of how to do mini-games right, because it's just as you advance the plot, little things happen. And then so you just end up getting involved in shenanigans that lead to little mini games as you go. The only bad example is the pinball machine. Because and that's not the pinball machine's fault. The pinball mechanics work right. It's the score requirements fault being way too high. Because yeah, Jesus Christ, whoever decided 5 million points is what you need to get for the pinball machine should be taken out back. Because it's a super fun mini game up until you're at it for 20 minutes. And I already know they're going to make it harder when I go through the extreme playthrough. I can feel it in my gut. I haven't looked at anything for what the extreme mode does for when we get to it in the sub goal, other than the fact that I know it locks you to level 1 and also then makes everything harder on top of it. Okay, we can get back up. I was hesitant to jump down here. Games like Atelier Wrestling 4 mini games. No, it doesn't have to be the forefront. It's just something to reward you a little different. I'm all for the idea of just creative ways to make you explore the map or enjoy the map in different ways, or creative rewards instead of it just being the same way. That's my point I'm getting at. Just little things to do that you can find along the way by chance, not everywhere. Like there doesn't need to be like a million of them. Just like I said, like if you get to the top of like the equivalent of Mount Everest, there's a snowboard there, and it can lead to a little challenge. You know, that's kind of like my thing for it. Like, not like as in like they lead this charge or it's like a mini game collection. Just little things to do other than just, hey, you got to the top of the mountain and here's a treasure chest. An incentive, like more incentives basically. Because that was like one of the things, like, well, among everything else, I really enjoyed about Frontiers was the little side stuff that you got up to whilst exploring. Admittedly, Sonic Frontiers is kind of like side content of the game. If you're not fighting bosses, you're engaging in some kind of side content whilst exploring the map, but still. I like this, by the way, these bone bridges, where you have to actually kind of figure out how they're connected yourself. Although I've solved it at a glance, admittedly, I still like that, you know, it's a bit more ingenuity you have to put into it. Rewarding you for more time spent. Yeah, there's been ways. I just want it to be more than just a treasure chest for my troubles. And they kind of had something going with Kark Isle, so you had to find all like the slime statues, and your reward is that you can get a giant slime, giant puny, sorry, to fight whenever you want. Like they kind of had something going there, but just kind of like more, because it was kind of like the only area to do something like that. Or like in Ryza 2, where there were 3 like fairy statues you could find around the whole map, and if you like positioned them all correctly by solving the riddle or looking it up, it would result in you unlocking an extra little area that had its own rewards. Because I didn't solve the riddle at all. It was just all around the map were odd letters, and you had to use that to solve the direction of where things were supposed to go, and I just didn't do that. Where is the landmark here so I can actually uncover this part of the map? It's way down south. Okay, let's go get that. Oh, I'll activate this as well. What's it doing? Yeah, I'm all for like exclusive super hidden rewards that might require a guide to get, but equally I would, if I had to pick between guide game rewards and creativity, experimentation, and just exploration getting you those rewards and not getting like locked out because you like did it wrong or whatever, I'd take the latter any day of the week. Like, when I play the Trails of games, I'm going to be playing them super fucking casually, as you know. Like, I'm not going to be following a guide. And what we find, we find. What we don't, because I'll enjoy it more. If I have to follow a guide to get to the ultimate weapon, the journey of getting the ultimate weapon will just be a little less exciting for me. The reward may be nice, but I'll still be a bit like, alright, now what do I have to do? I'll have to go talk to this precise person and do this precise thing. Or if I don't do it now, I miss it forever. And obviously, I don't know, because I haven't played the Trails games, how deep that goes and how complicated that gets, but still. You know, not a bad comparison. And I looked at it, I was like, actually. What was you crafting ultimate weapons and armor? Ah, fair enough. There's another world quest in there, and another find the bird. There's ancient tool technique and ancient manufacturing technique cauldrons. Let's get around. And there's treasure chest inside, 'cause of course there is. Oh, there's another sandstorm here as well. Oh, the cauldron's in the sandstorm. Interesting. What's this one? Allows to carry over exclusive and super traits for combat resistance boost or inhibitor items. Oh, so you can double carry over super traits instead of it just only carrying over once. We're going in depth. Yeah, having rewards for going in depth is cool and all. But I think, like, there needs to be an ability to get most, if not all of it, by just experimenting without a guide. It doesn't necessarily have to be every single thing every time, but you know what I mean. Like, if I go through casually, do all the exploring I can, try and solve everything without a guide, do whatever, and then I reach the end, and I've only covered like 10%, that's not going to make me go, oh man, I can't wait to follow a guide. That's going to make me go, oh fucking Christ, here we go. And especially if the guy says, oh, you have to be hyper precise, or do it in these time slots. I'm not saying it can't work, and I'm not saying that's, like, that shouldn't happen. I just think, like, if it's, like, only here and there, I'm okay with it and I can enjoy it because then it rewards those committed. Like, having the rewarding for commitment should be there, but it shouldn't be you have to commit to get the major majority of the content of the game. That's where my line starts to be drawn, because then it's like, well, no, you shouldn't, because it's almost demanding you to follow a guide then. Yeah, basically. I think you hit on the nail on the head. And for me, like, if I love the fucking game, then I can be a bit more willing, because it's the same with anything. If you enjoy it, you're going to put up with more of its bullshit because you enjoy it. But as a whole, especially as someone who hasn't played any Trails of games, the ideas of following a guide just to get super cool weaponry and stuff, I'm like, not ideal for me. And I say that knowing that the later games may mix things up and change it as like things innovate and change and the developers try out different yada yada. But we'll see. Third lengths with the World Trails is so engrossing. Yeah, then that's what I mean. Like, you're more prepared to put up with the things that aren't so great because you love it as a whole. You'll still criticize it because it's just the nature of who we are. You've got to point it out if you ever hope to see it improve. Jesus Christ, I just noticed the moon. Did you guys see that? I just noticed the moon. The moon's gargantuan here. I just see if I can see it after this fight. Yeah. Snapshot. Yeah, I'll try to, but... Oh, this is a Sophie theme, isn't it? I think. Not sure. If it loops, I'll be able to work it out, because I can recognize most track from the intro, but I think I talked over the intro, so I didn't catch it. Like a Furious track to me. Maybe. So I'll know when it loops. It's not looping. I keep thinking it's going to loop. That's why I keep pausing. It might be Furious, actually. I'm trying to... Yeah, it is. It's when you fight a boss in the field, I think. Look at that fucking thing! That thing's huge! I can't really get a... Oh, this is as high as I can make the camera go? Oh, that's shit. Oh, I wish I could look straight up. But the moon's huge. Maybe if I can get, like when I go into there. Maybe. So this is the whole area. So it's one giant circle around this central zone then. I'll say that. There's a landmark there as well. You haven't found the bird watcher there. Still some chests there to get. How many chests have we got? 22 or 47? Jeez, Shrine of Another Sky, Shrine of Enlightenment, Shrine... What was that say? Shrine of Genesis. Oh, goodness. And in the middle is like the main tower. I need an electric key for that. Thanks for letting me know. Oh, there's a treasure chest back in here. Hang on. There's a treasure chest here as well. Hang on. Come on, Ryza. 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 Come on, Ryza. You can do it. Ryza, thank you. What's it? Raislin. Raislin Stout. You get up there, young lady. Give her a fucking call her by her fucking government name. Get up there, young lady. I think if anyone called her Raislin Stout, I think she would just give them a look. I think she'd be like, what the fuck? Just call me Ryza. I think she'd almost not respond to it. It'd be so alien to her. So the first temple we went to had the gimmick of like anti-gravity on the rocks. The second had like like background doors. So what's this shrine's thing? Other than maybe platforming. Okay, I jumped, Ryza. I pressed the jump button now, I promise. Alright, let's go back around. Oh, you can't turn. You can't... Okay, never mind. We're going back around. You can't change your direction in midair. I was like, yeah, we can just alter and go. No, you're fucking locked in. You can when you're not on your animal, but you can't when you are. If I like flick left and right whilst I jump, yeah, no, you're locked in until you touch the ground. Okay, so alright, so my original idea of just go for it won't work. Right, let's try this a third time. There we are. Just that first try. Ignore the first two attempts. Okay, there's nothing else up here. Did we get anything from this chest? I didn't see anything pop up. Okay, no, we can't go up there. Oh. Fuck me. Platforming is not this series' strong suit. I want to play another platformer. I just don't know what I'd want to play. I've been in the mood for like a proper platformer for a while. And it'd be nice to kind of spice it up a little, because so far the only thing spicing up the schedule in terms of it being something that isn't an RPG is Resident Evil. You know? So it'd be nice to have something else kind of spice it up a little bit, so I might see what mood I'm in. If Sonic Colors Ultimate had save files like the original Sonic Colors did, I'd probably do that. But I'm not sure I want to tank my 100% save, and I think it will affect story beats if I just try and load it from a manual save, and then just like do each level like sort of thing. If the game had multiple save files like the original version on Nintendo Wii, we'd be fine. I don't really know why they got rid of it in the remaster, if I'm being honest. It seems like such a dumb thing to just get rid of. Oh, whoops. Oh, this must be... Did you find something? Yes, it looks like a map. They even marked a spot with X. Could it be a treasure map? Now that you mention it, that could very well be what it is. It's a map of the island, right? What are we waiting for? Let's get going already. Wait, I'm the one who found the map. Finders keepers. Oh, those two seem to be getting along well. Oh, is it go find where that leads? Yeah, somewhere in here there's a treasure chest, okay. Notice, plan number 5581. The Earth energy-powered giant ray cannon and humanoid arms production cancelled. Attention, plans based upon unproven theories are not allowed. That should just be posted on Twitter. That should just be like the headline on Twitter. Plans based upon unproven theories are not allowed. That would like solve 99% of Twitter drama, I swear. It's unproven. Shut the fuck up. Okay, so it's probably beyond that somewhere. Oh, what? You... You son of a bitch, I didn't even spot that. God damn it. Alright, I'm gonna go around. I'm just gonna warp. Yeah. I was making a joke, dude, don't worry. Is there anywhere I can like squeeze under this? Is there like a gap? Oh no, there really isn't. Oh my god. Dissolving in water is not efficient enough. Can't it be compressed? Prepare high-strength glass to compress and confine the solution. Or at least we can try. That sounds ominous. Right, now how do we get into that room? Nah, usually unless I specify otherwise, if I bring up like social media or anything like that, I usually mean it in jest because I don't really care about the social media world. It's just become so ingrained with just problematic people that I just kind of switch off from it. We've already been here. How do we get into that room? There's probably a switch or something I need to find. At least back down to that, 'cause there's one big circle. Oh, maybe these spiraling up platform. Fuck. Good girl, Ryza. Good strong forearm. She's got that Lara Croft in her. Right, now why do I want to come up here? What can I interact with? Yeah, no worries. Can I bonk this? Oh shit. Okay, what's the purpose of letting me climb up this then? There's probably something else I have to activate first. It was a good idea to put some casual clothes. Hey boss, have you lost some weight? Maybe since I've been moving a lot, my body's in better shape. He's also got to make sure he's got that handsome bod ready to marry Kilo. You've got to get ready for the wedding photos. You got to look your best for that, and then afterwards you can start putting on the weight because you're already married. Was it fucking mad? I'm kidding. Look after your significant others and look after yourselves. I think something has to be placed here. It might be because we haven't advanced like the actual plot of this area that we can't do much with it. Can I like squeeze in through the window? Oh, that'd be too cool. The game let me squeeze in through the window. Come on, it's big enough. Come on, Ryza, I just said find your inner Tomb Raider. Come on, you can reach that. You've even got like the Tomb Raider gloves on. You can reach that, I believe. Is there another way in? Oh, I was optimistic for a second. I saw these arches on the side. I was like, ooh, never mind. Right, I think we can't do either of these just yet. Because we can't get in that room. So I don't think we can. Because I think the only entrance is this that's all barred up, but we can't really squeeze in. She will rise again and again. Oh, there's an invisible wall. There's just straight up an invisible wall. Speaking of Tomb Raider, where's that remastered collection? It was rumored like 3 years ago. It was even like a trademark was found for it, and then it just vanished. What? Come on, where is it? Give me good Tomb Raider again. I say that, I like Reboot for what it is. It's just vastly inferior to Legend Trilogy in my opinion. Legend Trilogy is amazing to me. It's peak linear adventure game for me, those games, I love them. Yeah. I don't really remember any like the big songs for the Tomb Raider games if I'm being honest. And if the Legend Trilogy ever does, this is like, it's one of my promises that I've had existing since my Let's Play days as a surefire will absolutely happen if the stars align. Next to if SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom ever got remastered, that everything would get dropped for that. If the Legend Trilogy gets remastered and comes to modern platform, it is a top priority that no matter what, everything will be dropped to play those games. Because it's a promise I made. The 3 promises I made when I started doing Let's Plays were if SpongeBob Battle for Bikini Bottom ever gets remastered, everything else is getting dropped for it, and it did, and I did. If Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne gets remastered, I'll drop everything for that and cover it, and I did. I did a Let's Play of it. The only one left is Legend Trilogy, of those 3 promises I made like 7 years ago. They're solid ones. I just don't remember them. Also, I've gone completely wrong way. I want to circle all the way around to kind of like check out this area. Like tap these, go back to our base, actually kind of see if there's anything I want to make, and then actually head up to Plot. Where the hell even am I? Oh, I'm like way up here, okay. They are working on a new Tomb Raider game on the Unreal Engine 5, and I'm really like terrified about that game and what it's going to be. Because it's not, because they have confirmed, and they keep on reiterating, they want to unify the timelines, and I'm like, don't fucking, no, don't unify the timelines. The 3 different timelines of Lara Croft are so radically different from one another, that won't work. Don't do it. Lara Croft from Classic, Lara Croft of Legend Trilogy, and Lara Croft of Reboot are 3 radically different people. They have the same name, but they are completely fucking different. You can't tell me you're gonna try and make all 3 of them the same character now. No. I'm so, like, maybe they'll nail it and it'll be perfect, and we'll get a Lara who's like got that 90s feistiness of the original Lara, has got that confident killer of the Legend Trilogy, and has got that lone survivor of the, you know, now Survivor Trilogy, since, you know, it's no longer the Reboot Trilogy because, you know, this unified timeline bullshit. But I so doubt it. I really do. Especially because all 3 have different, like, slightly different backstories, and have made different friends, and have different teams that they rely on, and have relied on. What are you going to tell me, that she just secretly, like, just relied on all 3 teams, and just didn't bring up any of the other teams in them when they unify it? No, come on, that's not going to make any sense. Are you going to suddenly have her be really sad that Zip's dead again because of Underworld? Even though she didn't bring her up despite being older than, I think, slightly older than how she was in Underworld, so in Unifying Timeline, Zip should already be dead? Are you just going to, like not bring up Chip? When with the Reboot cast? And how Chip was literally, like, the lead hacker man that, like, solved every single technical problem and, like, was, like, a big fountain of, like, technical knowledge for Lara? You see, what I mean? Like, trying to unify the timelines, the more, like, the think about it, the more I'm terrified that they're gonna fuck it up. But it's the next game they're making, so I'm like, Especially because the team at Crystal Dynamics aren't, that make the games, are not the team that made Classic Lara, you know? So it's like, you're gonna tell me they're gonna start trying to write over or reintegrate Classic Lara from the 90s? With their new vision, you know, the character they didn't write, the character they didn't make, because that was Eidos Interactive that made that. You know, I mean, like the way I am with Tomb Raider, like, I don't love every single game in the series, but it's the one that I tend to be the most protective over. because it's the one that I've seen get messed around a little too many times over the years. There's a reason why the series has been rebooted twice, because of how often it's been messed around. Soon to potentially be 3 times if this new version goes the way it sounds like it's gonna go. And so I just kind of want something to not play it safe, but play it safe just for once. You know? To kind of just be a game about tomb raiding again, and we just haven't got that. The last Tomb Raider to actually be about tomb raiding was 2008. You know? Or 2011 if you want to count Temple of Osiris, the spin-off. Because the reboot trilogy is all about the survivor and not tomb raiding. Heck, in Tomb Raider, you don't tomb raid at fucking all. They make a passing joke at it, and you go past one, but you don't go into one or do actual proper tomb raiding. And in Rise, they're all optional tombs. And in Shadow, there's 2 mandatory, thankfully, because that one actually tried, but there's still only like 2 small side tracks, and then a bunch of optional tombs. There's no like main big puzzle-solving chunks of the games in any of the reboot trilogy, and I just think that's such a shame. Because it's what got me into the series, was the puzzle solving. They're like fucking looking at a giant map, going into an inverted tower, and it being like a straight drop for like 10 miles, but down the drop is 4 different doors, and they each lead to unique puzzle rooms that have their own treasures to find optionally, as well as main keys to solve. And you have to get all 4 of them, because at the very bottom of the whole pit is a door to get to. But the puzzle isn't just the puzzle rooms, it's the inverted tower trying to figure out how to navigate the fucking thing. Like, we're so far gone from those days of Tomb Raider, and I miss it so much. Because that was so cool to, like, see this giant, imposing area and try and figure out how to navigate it. And that was part of the puzzle. And then when you did, and then when you came back on your second playthrough for the speedrun trophies and the speedrun challenges, fucking nailing it because you've learnt it, you've mastered it so much, there was nothing better. There genuinely wasn't. Ryza, do you have a moment? Tao and Empol have been helping decipher those papers you found scattered around the island, right? Can I see them? Sure, here you go. I thought I'd translate this information for the Wave Tuner clan. And I'm aware that Shadow the Tomb Raider had like 8 fucking DLCs, but I've never played those DLCs to speak on them. If I ever cover Shadow, maybe I'll cover the DLCs then. Because I do want to cover some Tomb Raider on this channel at some point. I really do. As much as I bitch and moan about the reboot trilogy, I still enjoy them. They're still solid action games with some survival elements. They get better as they go, Lord do they. And Shadow as a whole, I still give like a real solid recommendation because it does do a lot of things right despite a lot of its problems. It's just the trilogy as a whole just is problematic and isn't what I came to Tomb Raider for. Well, I translate this information from the Rave Tuner clan. We need to understand the history of mankind. And this island's documents may just be what you need, I see. If you find some more, would you mind sharing it with me? You've got it. Let's make history by uncovering it. Alright, so we've got Carla's ongoing quest. Any text we find, give to her. BGMs. Standard battle, I've got Horned Enigma from Iris. I've got Nerf of TT from Mana. I've got Flash Frost and Full Buko Nu from Verona. Impromptu Saturnus First Lotus from Sophie 1. Destructive Disruption from Sophie 2. Balmy Summer Breeze from Ryza 2. And WP Neuron from Blue Reflection Second Light. Alternate battles, I have Crisscross from Mana 3. No, Iris 3. Namin Losis Lich from Mana 2. Red Zone is Toturi. Stargazer and Slag Dance are from one of the Dusk games. Pororoka is Furious. Arcturus, I think, is Lydian Suli. And so maybe Gemini Ring. And then Edge of Apocalypse and Blue Blood Abyss is Knights of Azure 1 and 2. Boss is Stigmata, the final boss of Mana 1. Cyclone, I think, is a Dusk track. Conley Collapse Disorder is the final boss theme of Escher and Logi. Patricia is... can't remember. Beyond the Fate, I think, is... I can't remember that either. Cygnus is Lulua. Monster in the Water is Ryza 2. Sayonara is Blue Reflection 1's final boss theme. Those Who Detest Blood is Varushka's theme from Knights of Azure 2, and Malicious Roses is the normal area theme from Knights of Azure 1. And story bosses, I've got Stigmata again, because fucking of course I have. Nanimos' Lich, Maria from Dusk 1, Lelea Zaya, Arya, Filling the Shade, Wish, Omen, Genesis, and Alreal. Genesis and Alreal being from Blue Reflection. Omen is Moon Queen theme from Knights of Azure 2. And then Wish, Knight Ryza 2, Filling the Shade. Arya, Lelea Zaya, etc. And Code of the Universe I messed around with for when I go back and inevitably fight the final boss, but obviously I'm not going to do that now. And we don't think there's any in Elder Treant, so I didn't bother. And so, but the Roska Island has its own BGM. It has Sand in the Sky Clouds. Because we have all of them now. All of them are out. We have all of these. So the Sophie 2's there. All the Ryza trilogy. All the spin-offs and portable versions. Some of their much earlier titles, both Knights of Azure games, both Blue Reflection games because they're gods. Nelka, Augmented Reality Girls. Augmented Reality Girls. I need to actually see if that's ported to the West because I'm kind of curious about that one. I don't know if it is. It's just every time I hear it, I'm like, oh gee, I wonder where this one plays. I need to, at the end of the stream, remind me to look up Augmented Reality Girls Tyranny. Or Trinary. So I've been curious about that for a while, and I don't even know if it's in the West. Or if it's on a console I can play easily. Oh, you want Amorite? There you are, baby girl. I had a friend of mine who, he doesn't comment on my streams, he watches them in post in his spare time. He messaged me, the other day, and he went, Rob, why do you call every character baby girl? And I was like, I don't mean to. It's just natural, it happens. I don't even think about it, I just do it. I just call almost every character baby girl. I think it's just me. I think it's just my pet naming. Thank you for all your help. I'm sending this to Sardonica for further study. You might not get immediate results, but wow, what a discovery. This is what adventure is all about. Maybe I'll bring some more Amorite next time I visit Sardonica. Is that going to unlock... Okay, would you like to trade quests to unlock in Claria? Okay, so if you go to Claria, there'll be quests for trading that ore. So there's your Claria bonus. And more SP. You know what, I should... Yeah, I've got enough. Let's go to the advanced list. Rare chance to get super traits from drops. Yes, please. And then I'll try and get 10,000. I'll try and get that later. Being able to start at level 3 would be very helpful for super bosses. Because I imagine it being a DLC for a Ryza game, there is a super boss here. So what else have we got? We can't do that yet. I need to go find where those birds are. Because those birds are for Tau. So we've got a quest for Tau and a quest for Kala. Gee, I wonder if one of them's going to get us more things around the Kirkan Islands, and if one of them's going to get us more things for the Underworld. You know, I can kind of see it. But let's head towards this tower, which is what the plot wants us to do. There we go. I'll fight this guy along the way. This is a Sophie track, right? I'm not going mad. This is a Sophie 1 track. I hope we get First Lotus at some point in this, because we never experienced it in the main game because it's tied to a super boss in the post game. And I didn't do much post game on stream for Sophie 1, but I have heard the track since, and I loved it. And I kind of want it to play so I can kind of gush about it a bit more at some point. That's why it's on the playlist. So I like how it's got a slow start, but it's got a really deep slow riff. Oh right, yeah. I keep on forgetting these are the, strong enemies. I should be setting up heals. Oh no, this isn't Sophie. This is, I think this is the Nomus Lich, Mana Kamiya 2's final boss theme. I'm also aware that Standard Battle 2 might be what's taking priority in this whole area, so none of the Standard Battle 1 tracks may be playing, so maybe we won't get First or Lotus in like some of the Sophie tracks, or some of the other tracks. But if that's the case, if we don't get everything done this stream, between streams, I'll swap them over, so we'll get the other set of tracks, you know? And I think, yeah, because we heard Varushka's theme earlier, and Varushka's only in Battle Theme 2, so maybe it is just playing the 2 list for this area. Nice. Right, so let's go through it, work our way through this. Oh, there are a bunch of enemies in here. Actually, you know what these sandstorms actually remind me of? The idea of like a controlled zone where everything's harder, but you get better rewards out of it. I know like, it's not the only game to do it, but it reminds me of MPLA or Pokemon Legends Arceus. Because that's what that game did. You had like designated area where way stronger Pokemon were hiding, but you got way better rewards and unique Pokemon if you went in, if you dared to go in it. What a place to hide a book! Wow. Okay. All Class 1 confidential materials should have been removed by now. Why are there still some here? Replace the responsible party at once. We can't afford any mistakes. Yeah, that's too high up, so you actually have to just commit to jumping across them to get to that. Let's go up to this tower. What's that? That giant box over there. Oh, whoops. Okay, I'm glad I caught the R1 before anyone started talking. Look at how high up it goes. I wonder how long ago it was built. It must have taken a lot of work. I don't see any way in, though. Hmm? Oh, is this going to be a Ryza special? We'll just make our own way in. You're right. I wonder if there's a trick to it. Let's take a look around the tower. Maybe we'll find something. Oh, just check out the general vicinity. It warped us past the landmark. God fucking damn it. It warped us from straight here to here. God damn it. Oh, it's never mind. It's underground. I think. That's okay. No, I take it back then. It's underground. There's some kind of machinery, but it's not working. It's connected in the back, and it looks like there should be others like it. Oh, is this now going to be like, when you do this, hey, all of the 3 ruins have something for you? Is that what it's going to be? Like, this links to that one, this links to that one links to this one. Well, that one's a bit misfaced, but yeah, maybe. Nothing. We made a loop and the tower still couldn't find a door. It doesn't look like we can climb it. There's no way a tower this big doesn't serve an important purpose. Yeah, it's probably a giant prison. Just gonna throw it out there, Ryza. There's probably like a reason why this is in the middle of a desert that's entirely abandoned. It's probably like a giant prison holding as like some great evil. Because I'm willing to bet there's going to be a super boss in there. That will just get demolished by immediately. What's this? Do you find something? Yeah, it's in pretty bad shape though. What do you think? Central, results, and collection, maybe. Meaning? Central probably refers to that tower, which seems that, to be where their results research were collected. That's just my guess. Results, huh? For what, I wonder? Some experiment gone awry? This was apparently some sort of research city. Perhaps the people of the Age of God lived here. What kind of research had they been doing out in a desert like this? Either they wanted to avoid prying eyes, or there is something important in this place. The results ought to be inside the tower. We'll be able to figure out what was really going on once we find a way inside, but the power is out. It's like it was coming from 3 other facilities. Maybe we can get the power back on, the tower will be fully functional again. Right, let's look into that. Am I right in my guess? Of course I fucking am. God damn it, if I just come here first. But no, I want to go explore. But at least we already did most of the work for these places. What is this place? The rocks are floating. Just around this building, it seems. It might be another trace they left behind. That was kind of a cute little thing she did. The little spiral on the spot looking around her. Cute little animation. Looks like it's powering the tower from here. Is it alive? Of course not. What do we do now? These little crystals seem to be giving it energy, but 2 are missing. The others must be around here in this facility. Let's take a look around. I've seen them. I saw one, but we couldn't pick it up. Oh, I gotta try. Oh, is that where the bunny's gonna lead me to, actually? No, research log. Our labours have borne fruit at last, becoming the theory upon which the key research performed by Enlightenment is based. Oh, is this the origin of keys? Or like where the original keys came from? The mechanism to collect ancient energy and our research on stellar cores crystallization complete one another like the pieces of a puzzle. Constant dripping wears away the stone. The key we have created is sure to reveal the truth of the world. Collecting text reportable. Oh, we found more. Oh yeah, of course here's the 2 paths, right? Actually, can I just jump up to this one? Yeah, Ryza can reach. Fuck your platforming. Ryza's got arms. So I find the desert theme here actually kind of nice and grandiose. Still not my favourite area theme of this game. That absolutely goes to the underworld themes. Oh, more Carla shenanigans. She seems to be getting a lot of love in this DLC. Did you find something, Carla? This looks interesting. Tao, can you decipher it for me? Sure. About long-distance, instantaneous teleportation. Experimental progress poor, lagging far behind other fields. Breakthrough discoveries needed to produce results. Further investigation and research. I see. So this city was built before the code of the universe was created. They haven't yet discovered the Dragon's Passage. Hang on. Termination order. All research related to teleportation in the city was halted. Long-distance teleportation terminated, but why? Either the experiments weren't going well at all, or... something happened. Something terrible happened, forcing them to cancel the research. People of the Age of God might have encountered a roadblock in their search for technology to travel beyond the world. Oddly enough, the Dragon's Passage was the groundbreaking discovery they were looking for. Oh, Jesus Christ, I was trying to squeeze through. I don't want to do this fight. I'm trying to leave. There we go. So there's a node thing somewhere, I think, that I need to try and find. Shit, and the game's just like, hey, somewhere here, bitch, figure it out. Get looking. I know I've seen a few on our travels, so that's why, cause every time I've seen them, I've either ran over them or ran near them because I've noticed them. They look stand out, so I know what I'm looking for, it's just spotting it. Let's try the other direction first. Oh, I can try it back over here as well. Phenomenon discovered. In rare cases, the Earth's energy can crystallize. Conditions of crystallization currently being investigated, but could be a potential factor in determining energy density. We've called these crystals stellar cores. Research shall continue. The phenomenon is certainly worth looking into. God, it's getting a bit hot. Might have to wrap up the stream soon, which would mean I'd lose the bed, so I have to put them in bikinis next stream. Because it's very fucking warm and I'm starting to cook here a little bit. Even with my fan on, I'm boiling. Stellar Log Research 24. Research has shown that in many cases the crystal core is a pure mineral and plant high in nutrients. The theory that crystals can be observed using the intermediary seems to apply to these as well. Crystallization occurs naturally. There must also be a way to condense the Earth's energy artificially. And then I'll flip the tracks around so we get more of a mix-up. Yeah, I'm not sure where that one is. Let's just go the other direction for a sec. Yeah, no, it's not here. How the fuck do we get out of here again? Fucking Carla avoiding opportunities. I'm sure they're managing somehow. Don't worry about them. Oh, here he is. I was gonna say, where do we get the fuck out of here? Let's try the other way. Fuck your platforming. Oh, Jesus Christ, I was like, that's not what I wanted. How many of these have I got for the... 3, and there's 10. I still haven't gone and done all this. I still haven't platinumed this game. I need to get around to it. Yeah, honestly, I might do one more check around the area and then... Oh, there's one. And then wrap up just because I'm genuinely scorching. I'm really cooking now. I got my windows open, I got a fan on, and I'm still boiling. It's very warm today. It's not summer heat yet, but it's getting there. Oh, hey. I've been taking sips of water in between as we go, but it's still like, it's just starting to get a bit, not unbearable, but I'd rather stop before it does get to that point, you know? Because, you know, there's one thing the UK does. They have the literal polar opposite problem to the US, where all our houses are super conditioned for the cold, not even fucking remotely prepared for the heat, though. All our houses are super insulated, we have, like, heating up the wazoo, no aircon. So if you want to cool down the place, you gotta do it your fucking self. Because all the insulation will trap the heat in. Because that's what it's supposed to do during the winter. It keeps all the heat in so you don't get, so the house doesn't get cold. But when it's in the summer, and now we're really starting to approach summer, we're really starting to break into it. We've got another week yet before it's next supposed to rain, so it's going to be noticeable. And as I said before, usually like near the end of July is when the hottest week is of the year. I'm going to try and line it up that I take a week off around that time. Obviously try, because you can't predict the weather that much. But I'm going to try and take the week off for that one, because trying to stream through the hottest week genuinely exhausted the shit out of me last year, and I don't want to do it again. Teleportation test using eggs. Prepared 3 worm eggs for teleportation. 2 were successfully transferred to the target location. The remaining egg damaged during teleportation. Cause of failure suspected to be insufficient energy output. As a result, teleportation tests using live organisms postponed. Hey, I'm glad they tested it with eggs and then just immediately go straight to animals. By the way, Claudia, I heard you play instruments. Yeah, I play the flute a little. A little, she says. Oh, a flute. Let me hear of it one of these days. It's like, what is this flute you speak of? Alright, that's just back to here, okay. Right, I don't know where the other one... So I'll do one more check in that general direction, because I think that's how it's going to be. It's one on each side. I just can't find the one that's on that side. So I'll give it one more look, and then afterwards I'm going to wrap up, because I don't value getting a headache from the heat. Especially because I'm still working this evening, so the last thing I want to do is, like, burn myself out and then try and work. Until I start earning money from this, if I have to choose what to drop and kind of take it easy, it's going to be the thing I don't earn money from. You know? Not the thing I do. I was optimistic. That's a little tunnel. It's a very small thing to just try and spot. Oh, there it is. Never mind, found it. Last one, let's go back to the big crystal. Alright, we'll do this one and then we'll wrap up. And so instead of doing Totally tomorrow, we're going to do more of this tomorrow. So I'll make that show in the timetable in the community post that we're going to rearrange it. So it will almost definitely mean we won't be starting Maruru this week because Totally is going to be absolutely more than one stream left. But I want to cover the rest of this DLC. I'm interested enough to see where it goes. But it feels like there's more effort in this DLC than we usually get from the DLC. So it's more like, hey, here's an extra little field and some resources. Super boss, go. This actually has like plot threads it's trying to clear up and elaborate on. Like it makes sense that this came out a few months after the game because it feels like there's actual more content here. So that's the first beam. So we need to get the last 2 done, but I'll do that another time. And to be fair, it's just nice to be back in Ryza. Back in, not in Ryza, not in the girl, not doing anything to her, I promise. Back in the Ryza games. I'm aware how that sounded as I said it. I was like, no, no, I'm not doing anything to the girl, I promise. Claudio giving me a side eye like, the fuck you doing with her? What the hell? Interesting. The light is back. Is that good? Yes, I think so. Is it amazing that they were doing all this research before the Dragon's Passage was discovered, though? The Age of God was certainly the age of research. People were slaves to their pursuit of wisdom. And she doesn't seem too happy about it. It's like, oh, we're talking about them again. The Mead, with an outbreak of war, forced them to abandon their research. I can't see for sure. Perhaps the truth lies within the tower. Okay, second page, got it. Let's return to base. They could make things that float. How awesome would it be if we could do that? It would certainly come in handy when carrying heavy loads. It is hard to do. Oh, speaking of flying, there was a poll for what you would like and for what people would want to see, or what you would enjoy for future stuff in the Atelier series. That I did see, not a poll, it was like a questionnaire thing. It was only in Japanese, but they did a thing basically saying, hey, what things like that we haven't done would you be interested in seeing, if any? And one of them was air exploration. Like proper hop on a flying thing and go fly around the map. Like take to the skies in an active map. I'm like, that sounds kind of fucking fun. So just throwing it out there, that might be something they might try and do at some point. Genshin also did a similar poll, and that one was in English, so I actually got to do it, asking what people wanted to see from the future. That also asked if you wanted vehicles. It asked if you want ground vehicles, deep sea vehicles, or flying vehicles, if there was any interest in any of them. And I immediately went, give me an aircraft. I was like, give me a flying vehicle, that sounds sick. And there was also recently a Capcom one as well. I think it's just the time of the year. A Capcom one asking what people want out of the future of Resident Evil. So I dumped on that and immediately put Code Veronica Remake, please. There are many technologies from past civilizations that are not yet understood. The gate is a prime example. Perhaps there was a gravitational anomaly around that building, the result of an attempt to open the gate, or... And that's how it works, or at least that's my theory. I see. Very interesting technology indeed. Dion, why are you sleeping when you're the one who asked? Yeah, good seer all the way around. What are you talking about? Listen, this talk is too difficult for me. No matter how hard I try, it's putting me to sleep. Why don't I whip you up some medicine that'll keep you awake? Would you? Oh, thanks, sis. I can't believe we have to resort to that. Well, I'm gonna whip you up a medicine to wake you up. Oh, thanks, sis. She just fucking slaps him. Yeah, you're awake now. Alright. Firstly, because I'll forget. I'm gonna screenshot that, and I'm gonna screenshot that. So then it'll be easier for me to go, okay, this is this, and then swap them round. And additionally... I'll wear the summer ones. The just straight up aqua uniform, like, no, that's not for me, thanks. I have to have some kind of... If we're going to do, like, a summery themed one. Hell yes. Hell yes, Len. Tao doesn't look as dumb as he usually does. Oh, she looks cute. Yeah, he looks cool. Lady Pirate. That's actually kind of sick. Okay. Hers looks cute. His looks alright. Oh, hers looks really cute as well. Alright, that's the punishment. So next stream, we're going to be streaming in this because I didn't get it all done in one stream. But I digress. Thank you so much for watching as always. I'm not gonna let you surf at the curvature side of her booty. No, you gotta face her. Damn it! No, camera angle. The fuck! I gotta wrap the stream. Pausing the game. Yeah. this ended up taking more than one stream, so we'll come back at it tomorrow to try and do the rest and see what it entails. So the schedule will be changing, and I'll update it to address that in momentarily. But, as always, remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. It's genuinely a blast to come back to Ryza, so I'm really enjoying to do it. And remember, you can find in the description of every video my Twitter, my Patreon, or my PayPal if you feel so interested. So Sophie's Bikini? Yeah, I kind of see that. That kind of summery, like flowy vibe that she had. But that'll do for now. I'll see you guys again tomorrow for more Ryza 3. It's so good to say that. I've missed this game. Despite some of my gripes, I have missed this game. But until then, thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you guys then. Peace.